And we're live. Welcome to D4, where I, Dustin,
and I, Devin, ODM, a 5th edition game of Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh,
Hey.
April showers bring May flowers, but April dice makes everything nice. So use discount code D4 APR at checkout over at Die Hard Dice to get 10% off your purchase.
That's it. Let's hear from our sponsors.
Hello, fellow D&D player. As you are also a fellow D&D player, you are interested in procuring more items to increase your D&D experience. I here at D&D Beyond wish to increase your experience by once again here at D4 offering you a player's bundle. Put in the hashtag Beyond and you can win a player's bundle that will assist you in becoming a better player for your bundle, including the Player's Handbook, Xanathar's Guide to Everything, Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, and Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Once again, file hashtag Beyond in the chat, possibly to your right or left, depending upon which way you are facing the screen and if mirrors are involved. However, if you wish to peruse down a certain kind of class, I've prepared something for your new perusance, so to speak. I give you the Paladin Oath of Bureaucracy. Do you find too much chaos and confusion in your party? Do they often ignore the main objective to go searching for lost pets? Do they choose to explore a derelict sewer system when they're wanted in the mountains, or do they actively try to kill a shopkeep for looking quote-unquote shifty? Then your oath and fealty are wanted under the strict guise of Papyron, god of bureaucracy. In exchange for your unwavering subservience, you gave him the power to control chaos and eradicate it while beginning a slow, calculated, and inefficient climb to curry Papyron's favor. We call it the Ladder of Divine Bureaucracy, which you can take one rung a year, slowly and efficiently, without any deviance whatsoever. At level 7, after 7 rungs within the Divine Bureaucracy, assuming you filled out Form 9-1AA4 with the Divine Lawyer and filed with your local magistrate, as well as made by your Divine Paralegal to be checked over before you make it to the Divine Magistrate, your enemies are required to petition your closest lawgiver in order to initiate violence. Violence being anything made with weapons, knives, spells, or anything under that category. Say by any humanoid feature or any dragon feature or any goblinoid feature, as goblinoids are also under the PC laws, as well as the monster laws, depending upon which part they come in and must dual file their taxes after every ride. Assuming compatriots are filed properly within your party, they can also ascend this bonus, but this only applies to party members and not to non-party characters or, once again, goblinoids who must be filed within the dual party bureaucracy to confirm party character status. It is important that you file forms 9-11A4 as well as 4-A154 as well as 5-A5514 Zeta:Z. In order to achieve this status, because at level 12, under the assumption that you filed your dungeon earnings under the proper divine revenue service, and assuming that you've not deviated from proper work made by your quest giver, not deviated from the quest initially given, and those as well as the contract signed between quest giver and party member, who will be mentioned as Party A as well as Party B, your party gets to experience the world as you do. No chaos, no deviations, nothing. Point A to point B, simple. If there are rats in the sewer, you're going to the sewer rats. There is no deviation under Papyron's defined law. Chaos is done. Murder hobos are a thing of the past. You play a glorious story from point A to point B in the shortest amount of time as efficiently as possible. Roll those dice once. Tell your number. The numbers rule your lives now. I don't want to hear anything about trying to make it grand or trying to describe anything. The numbers are all that matter here in the divine bureaucracy, and we want you to eliminate what they call fun. Hashtag Beyond.
That sounds so
intriguing.
Fun.
And efficient.
Yeah. You know what the opposite of that is? Matthew Lillard, who is one of the founders of Beetle and Grimm's Pandemonium Warehouse. You can head on over to Beetle and Grimm's and check out their store where they have amazing gaming accessories. They are reissuing the legendary Curse of Strahd box. I highly recommend you get it. It's got all sorts of neat things in it. It's got encounter cards. It's got artwork. It's got the game itself. It's got finger puppets. We've talked about the finger puppets, people. Finger puppets. Puppets! And you can find awesome t-shirts and stuff too. And they have a couple items on the site that actually benefit various charities, from the Trevor Project to Take This. So head on over, check it out. And while you're at it, jump on Twitter and add them on your Twitter feed with Beetle and Grimm's. And you can see when they post that they're doing fun stuff like Drunken Mailbag, where all the founders show up and get drunk and answer questions. And it is hilarious. The exact opposite of the divine bureaucracy. Beetling Grimm's Pandemonium Warehouse.
I was sent by Papyron to tell you about the most efficient way to get the best looking model for your table. Papyron knows the most efficient, best way to get the best looking model for your table is through Beetling Grimm's. Fill out form 1227, A, B, 7. See, I don't have all this stuff written down. Listen.
I think you meant Eldritch Foundry.
Eldritch Foundry, sorry.
This is why we need Papyron.
We need Papyron to file my mind in the correct place. I can't even speak today. Eldritch Foundry is the best place to get the miniature for your table. If you want to get the best possible miniature possible, you're going to go to Eldritch Foundry. And if you want to win an Eldritch Foundry miniature right here in the chat itself, you can go into #Eldritch into the chat to win your own Eldritch Foundry miniature. Yeah, they're fantastic. They'll get you anything you want in there. They've got all sorts of new stuff, including rabbits. If your character is rabbit-based, I promise you they've got something for you. If you want guns, they've got guns there. You want to make a chef, they got a lovely chef's hat. It's fantastic. You're going to love all the cool stuff you can get at Eldritch Foundry. Definitely check it out. I'm not very good at this. I should have written something down, but I wanted to try.
They also got new hand poses.
They have new hand poses. You want to wave? You want to give people finger guns? Check out all the different options there. They're fantastic. Eldritch Foundry, check it out. And if you want to, if you don't win tonight, don't worry. You can still get a discount by putting D4D&D. Get 15% off your Eldritch Foundry miniature right here with us. Eldritch Foundry.
I didn't know that I needed a rabbit doing finger guns miniature, but now I know I need a rabbit doing finger guns miniature. And what's also cool, like rabbits with finger guns, RockPunch ATL, where this show wouldn't even be possible without them. And you can check out some of their other super fun videos and series on their YouTube channel. And you can also check for updates on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. But for the most part, you're watching us on Twitch, well, you should just follow them on Twitch and watch their streams, other streams as well. We got a lot of fun stuff. So much fun stuff, including my own podcast, Quote on the Macabre. And I also wanted to give a quick shout out to the episode of Dead Meat I was on that came out this past weekend, where we interviewed Chelsea and James about Too Many Cooks. Well, they interviewed me. I didn't interview them because it's their show. But, you know, hey, you should check it out because it was a really fun conversation.
And if you want to support us in other ways, just more than just watching us on your beautiful screens that are sitting in front of you, you can go to d4dnd.com and pick up any merchandise that you find appropriate for your rabbit loving needs. Because I love rabbits and rabbits love shirts. Little known fact about rabbits. They love shirts and finger guns. d4dnd.com. Go. Now. Just keep us in the other tab so you can still hear us.
Yeah. Oh, and I saw that prediction poll, by the way, people. I saw that.
Okay,
sorry.
Lauren.
She's not at all upset. Not at all. Finally, I'm here to tell you that you can pray to Papyron and have fun too. That's right. You can be interested in the numbers and be interested in the game by playing Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. And you should be playing it not just because you can increase your numbers and efficiently get through all these adventures while having fun, but hey, look, my character's in the game too. Look at her. She's adorable. She's amazing. She's going to increase all of your numbers or decrease the bad numbers. Depends on which way you want them to go. Just ask her. She'll make the numbers go the way you want, mostly with fire. Also, just be careful that you're on the right side of the fire. So go play Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms and go take this code right there. Am I pointing in the right way? I ask this every single time.
Yes. No.
The code
yeah.
right there.
Yes, you are.
Get yourself an Electrum chest. Get yourself higher numbers in the good numbers so that you can defeat the bunnies. Because, yeah, you do actually fight bunnies in the game, but they're bad bunnies. You should defeat them with good numbers. Thank you.
And without further ado or chaos, all praise the rule as written and never the rule of cool.
Hail
All praise
Papyron.
the rule as written and never the rule of cool.
Let us immerse ourselves into the chronicles of D4.
2.
Numbers.
And we're back now.
Ooh, quick on the trigger finger. All right. So, last time on Disappointed Discussions and Deceased Drow, V and Renaer took down a 20-foot tall giant ape that erupted from a building during their date through the city. However, the giant ape only turned out to actually be a young man under the effects of a polymorph potion. When arrested by the Watch, Renaer paid his fines to ease his sentencing with the magistrate, when it seemed the boy had made a simple yet stupid mistake. Upon returning to Trollskull Manor, they were informed of the new shrine and clinic renovations had been completed, as Voss inquired Renaer about information on the Duchess Morwen Daggerford.
The party then joins with Seisha as she asks the stone about the Harbinger of the Elder Eye, and through the knowledge she learns it is an entity known as Shothragot, the Herald, in an era of many cataclysmic events, but one of which is being the Herald of Gonadar. With her mind intertwined with the stones, as it speaks the name, she is racked with such pain her mind nearly melts, causing her to fall unconscious. As madness takes hold, after being revived, her love of the knowledge it brings switches to pure, unfiltered hate and ire towards the stone, which causes everything to turn on its head as a debate over the stone's fate comes to a head once again.
The party went up to check on the improvements and changes of the field ward, all made possible by the efforts of the BFGs. They saw people getting new jobs, joining guilds, temples, and factions. They saw infrastructure into the improvements of their living quality, education, and protection. When they met up with the Bully Field Guard, they found them being trained by Acting Captain Lieutenant Mergen Truff, a half-elven woman who Elvandria admired because she sticks up for the little guys and treats people equally and fairly. They see Grecht, training to not only become the first official captain of the field ward, but also the first goblin within the Waterdeep Watch.
During the rest of the day, Voss took time to continue seeding his machinations for his future plans of Waterdeep by setting up Orso as the personal accountant of the Hailing Horses. Meanwhile, Binley has a moment with Daclin playing a game with Old Man Estrom, one of the regulars of the bar that plays Dragon Chess, and Pixel, who she finds moping on the rooftop, missing Yosef, the goat-masked boy. However, as the night of the new moon takes hold, they are visited by Gnarl and Jarlaxle as the group aids them in resurrecting Saloon Zabrandis, Gnarl's blood brother, who protected his Bregan brothers in death after being captured by Elerthat Gathala and Manshun.
But after the night fades, we start today's story, with you all waking up to the sounds of Vinley and Voss quickly getting everyone up and ready just before the break of daylight.
Can I say specifically how I wake Harold up?
100%.
Okay, I do my morning rituals as one does. I create my newfound friend, whose name is Friend. And I make my familiars, and I send Phelan, my frog, to go wake up Harold, because he just seems like he loves Phelan so much.
And then as you're resting, Harold, all of a sudden, there's a small murmur of words that you kind of just have become accustomed to, you don't really keep track of, and still stay asleep. And then all of a sudden, there's this large thud as weight just sinks onto your stomach, and it feels like someone is literally sitting on your chest. And you wake up and you see the decayed, rotting, sunken flesh of this massive frog. And as you scream, the eye nearly drips into your mouth before its tongue lashes out and rips it back into its face.
I fling it at the door.
Vinley is outside of your door, like, not expecting it to be that funny. She's has her back against the wall, cackling.
I slam the door open, and I hold out your gigantic, fuck-up, awful frog.
Oh, I must have misplaced her. Thank you so much, Harold.
And he just like shove it back into your hands. And I'm just kind of, I'm gonna put pants on and shut the door.
Aisha comes running upstairs with her sword. What's hurting Harold?
Oh, nothing. He just had a bad dream.
Nothing's hurt but my pride.
V busts out the door. Someone hurt Harold.
Sure sounded like it.
Oh,
It's
we are
okay.
so ready.
I go
I heard
wake up
something about a giant
Okira.
frog.
You find me on my way through Seisha's room, stumbling, still in my undergarments, going, "Oh, why? Why already? Why? Hi.
Hi.
What's wrong?
Shenanigans.
Bad shenanigans or shenanigans? I mean, I can go back into my room and put on my armor."
Go back into your room and put on your armor. We'll be leaving shortly. You look still unwell.
Hey, yeah, it's gonna take a couple days, but I'm fine. Yeah,
If you say so.
yeah. I mean, there's nothing really to do except sleep a couple more times, and I think we're leaving today.
Yes, we are.
Okay, all right. I'll be ready in 10. I'll be ready. And she'll wander back up to go put on her armor.
Okay.
So V is all ready, and she has like a sun hat on and looks kind of like vacation dad ready. It's just like, all right, let's go.
Yep. And you all are awakened, but still greeted by darkness outside, with only the faintest glow of light filtering in from the eastern horizon. The soft sounds of birds from the rooftop roost of Zephyr's Post charmingly echo out through the alley. Harold, after you were so rudely awakened, you go to check on Gnarl, who slept on a bedroll in the adjacent storage room of the attic. However, you do not see him, assuming he has already begun his mission of shadowing Petunia for when she begins her day. You all know you only have an hour after daybreak to make it to Caravan Court to meet with your rendezvous. And if you go downstairs to get breakfast before then, you see the bar just starting to prep for the day. There's no patrons. But what are you doing?
Could I have, since I got up so early, met our chef? That name is blanking on me right now. Javier. I almost said Gustavo. Could I have met him like as he's coming in the morning, because I'm already up, and be like, hey, before prepping, could you perhaps pack us a little breakfast to go? Like, so that like Vinley is full, like, I don't want to say vacation mom, but vacation momming it, where she's already got all of the ducks in the row before anyone's awake and is ready to just like send the kids through the door.
Okay. That is fine. It'll take me a little while to cook something quick, but I will have it ready for you. No problem.
Thank you. And then I go up and wake Harold up.
Okay. Yeah.
Again.
Aisha gets her stuff pulled together and goes and sits next to Biblio and says, okay, baby, it's time for mommy to go. You be a good baby, okay? Be good for Miss Petunia. She's going to take care of you. And don't eat anybody while I'm gone, because I don't want you to get indigestion or for people to get the wrong idea, okay?
And like tongue lashes out and just licks you up the side of the face. And as it does, and it kind of drags your cheek a bit, and it kind of sticks, and it pulls it off. As you do, out of the corner of your eye, something catches your attention. As you look down and kind of slid and kind of stuck to the foot of Biblio is a letter, an envelope.
I'll reach down and take the envelope.
And you actually see your name written hastily or harshly on the outside.
I'll open the letter.
Okay.
I'm going to send that to you.
Send it to you.
Okay.
Sometime after that, Orkira is going to have come down. She's in her armor. She's got her bag. She took 10 seconds to kind of sadly but fondly look at the dress that she got for the party, which is hung up, which is the one thing that she's not taking with her, but she literally has everything else in her life in her bag. And then she'll come on down, still yawning. Mornings. I really need to learn how to make coffee. Hi.
Good morning. Javier is preparing breakfast for us to grab on our way out.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. Okay. And then we're just sitting in a caravan all day, right?
I would assume so, yes. That's the only thing I have on the schedule for today. So I would hope it sticks to that.
You have a schedule?
Yes, and she pulls out a full schedule that she made the night before, basically an itinerary of the stops we are going to make and when they're going to happen. You don't know how she's decided this. It looks random.
But Orkira will believe whatever you say, about, especially about something like this. Just, oh, great. That's going to be really helpful. Usually I just kind of end up following along. But yeah, this will be good to know. Okay.
I hope it's good for everyone to have a potty break every 4 or 5 hours.
Oh,
I'm
no
hoping-
worries. I almost had a potty break this morning when you woke me up. No big deal.
I didn't get the chance to wake you up. You woke up on your own.
Yeah, that's what happened. But it wasn't that a toad decided to slam dunk itself down my gullet. It's fine. No, that was just me.
That was the
Oh.
screaming. Okay, that makes sense.
I almost tasted its eye.
I didn't know that happened.
This
Yeah.
guy?
Yeah, it drips.
Phelan, and she picks it up.
What was
Bad
the
girl. What did
cry?
we say about putting our
Or
body
she?
parts in other people?
It's just like, a frog should not sound like this, as it's just pushing air through its vocal cords.
A frog that awful should not taunt me and be so easily punted at the same time.
Do you want to hold her?
No, I don't want to hold her.
I feel as though all you need is a bit of bonding with her.
Well, if you give her to me, I promise you the only thing you're going to hear is touchdown before she does.
Harold!
You don't know what happened.
Harold!
You
It's
weren't
just
there.
a baby! A dead, rotting, putrid baby!
I know Akira's got my back on this one.
And Orkira just like gently slides in behind Harold. She doesn't say anything, but she literally just stands behind Harold.
Fine, fine. And she hands it to friend.
Voss,
Hmm.
I think there's a message for you in here.
And what?
I got a letter from Mr. Trench. And it says he wrote to me about trying to find my mom. And then he said, I got to get back to swimming in the muck with the sharks and hatchet men for your hard cat. I'm guessing that's you. Do you have him doing something for you?
I do.
Okay. Let him know the weave finger fence is a ghost. Never dangled a toe into the waters of the deep, but I'll keep my claws to the grindstone.
Okay.
You
Do I know what that
find
means?
who you're looking for, I think is what that means.
Is that a different version of
but
common
he's going
that
to keep
I've-
trying.
Okay.
that I've never heard of
Or
before?
Kira, don't think about it too hard. I don't know what language he speaks, but it's not common.
No.
Hard cat.
He
I'm
speaks
so
Noir.
cat.
For the audience, would you read the letter?
Yes. Do you want me to read it in his voice?
You so will.
Well, now you have to.
This gumshoe Seamus is a real busy alley cat. Sorry to say I couldn't find your kitten. Don't think she's walking around on her getaway sticks any longer unless she is a dish with sharp hearing. Even then, I doubt she's even around the Splendors anymore. Dame is a clean sneak with invisible ink. What I could find is hard to say if it's even you who are looking, if it's even who you are looking for. Oh God, it just moved. Hang on. Definitely cats of the same fur. Usually I go over what these cats' claws dug up, but I gotta get back to swimming in the muck with the sharks and hatchet men for your hard cat. Let him know the weave finger fence is a ghost. Never dangled a toe into the waters of the deep, but I'll keep my claws to the grindstone. Good luck. If I could have found something, I would have, but I gave you my notes on what I did.
And accompanying it,
The letter's a torn notebook page that was folded inside the letter with notes scratched all over it. Some crossed out, others circled with arrows to other names and locations within the city. Through the madness, you look over and over using your investigating skills, and you see written at the top where it once said, "Where is Damara Worstein?" It is now scratched out with a line that reads, "Who is Damara Worstein?"
And looking more over the page, you see a couple of dates, but all seem to be from over 130 years ago. The biggest lead you can see is a date of 1358 next to the name Parish of Lionsbane, which you remember to be where you were shown an entry by a D. Werstein. You see a list of D names all scratched out, seemingly an attempt to figure out if the entry was from Damara or some other D name relative. However, you do notice a circle around the name Werstein with a question mark and an arrow to a candle drawn inside of what looks to be Mount Waterdeep.
Huh. Well,
That looks promising.
it's a start.
Another mountain.
Yeah, something to do when we get back.
I've always wanted to see the mountains of the human worlds. I'm so excited.
You already have.
I mean,
You're Phil.
You went up this mountain when you went. Okay, just making sure Ray.
I know. Yeah.
So, you all go down to pick up your schedulely made breakfast.
And Javier has it waiting for you, ready to go, all kind of wrapped up in a little to-go bag, little to-go box. And as you go to say your goodbyes, you feel a slight tug on your coat from behind here. And as you turn around, you see Pixel looking up at you with adorable, sad puppy dog eyes.
Mr. Harold, I was told by Miss Vinley I can't go with you this time.
That's absolutely right.
That is absolutely right.
You hear Kara from the kitchen.
That is absolutely right. Please do not hitch a ride.
You see Pixel, you see her roll her eyes and go back to look at you with a big smile. Well, Miss Vinley also said that you're going to be gone for a while, and well, I was just wondering.
What? Go ahead, tell me. Lay it on me.
Can I have one of your pretty necklace pieces to remember you?
Yeah. Hold on.
She gave me this doll, and she holds up this very creepy looking doll that just kind of like flops and leans over. It has hollow eye sockets, but I don't have anything from you.
Oh, well, and I will pull out all of them but the Brigandairth one, obviously. None of the ones that would be like extremely like, one of the ones that means something to me personally. Okay. But they all mean something to me personally, but one of them's about to mean a whole lot more to me because she's about to take it. And I pull out a huge, she realizes that my neck must be pretty strong to be carrying all this crap around all the time. And I just gotta get it over the top of the forehead. It's really, okay, here we go. All right. Whew, no problem. First try. All right. Which one you want?
I like that one. It looks like a spark or an explosion or a star. I like stars.
And you can see she points to an asymmetrical, odd-shaped, 8-pointed starburst centered within a metal ring.
Do I know what that is?
Make a religion check.
Oh God, I'm Harold.
And do I recognize the symbol?
Make a religion check.
Oh, I mean,
make an insight check to see if I can tell if this is a con or not.
Make an insight check.
Vinley, you do remember pointing that one out. That's okay. That is, yeah.
That's the exact one I showed.
Yep.
It's a 6.
10.
I have no idea.
Vinley, it's part of the Seldarine.
Okay.
But
I got a discount. That's what I know.
You have no idea what it is. You just know it's like God.
I bought it. So
I rolled insight, not religion. My bad. Sorry, 17, not 10.
Okay. So you know that this Seldarine symbol is of Aravan El Saray, the elven trickster god of mischief and rogues. The chameleon trickster is said to be unpredictable, flighty, fun-loving god. He enjoys causing harmless trouble and playing pranks above all else. And despite the Fey Jester's fickle nature, Aravan is ferociously
loyal to the Seldarine and protective of the Sylvan races and elves when they are threatened. Aravan has no respect for those who relied on his help to solve all their problems. He instead favors those who rely on themselves and those who were underdogs.
And Voss, what did you get?
9.
9.
Like being very genuine, and like you can actually see like kind of like tears welling up a bit as there's that little bit of like hesitation and sadness of you all leaving, but at the same time, you know, a little bit of like, damn it, I don't get to go. I can't go this time. There's no way I'm going to be able to weasel my way into the party this time.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And as you're watching, you actually watch as she goes up to Station and V.
Is there something I can remember you with?
Tell you what, Seisha reaches into her pouch and pulls out the Kaiser Vex sock puppet. You hold on to this for me until I get back, okay? And when I get back, we'll go shopping and find something just for you.
And she takes it, and instead of putting it on her hand, she puts it on the head of her doll. Very similar to Yosef wearing the goat mask.
And Seisha gives her a big hug.
She returns the hug.
And you keep watching those stars, okay?
She nods. And she looks to you, V.
Yes. Yeah, I totally
A bag of sand.
planned to do this. Here is a bag of sand. And this will be great for self-defense. If anyone comes near you or touches you that you don't want, you just fling this right in their faces. They won't even see it coming.
I throw the bag in their face?
No. You throw the sand in the bag. So like here, do you want me to demonstrate?
No. That sounds like it would hurt.
Well, not on someone's face. Just like, you know, you just sort of take some and she pulls some out and then she's like, I'm not gonna throw it, but you just psh. Bag sand.
Right in their eyes.
Yeah, but yell bag sand.
Okay.
Do it.
Got it.
It works the best if it catches them off guard, you know.
And don't do that to anybody, any of your friends or anything.
Don't do it to anyone
only,
you
only
like.
bad people only.
Yeah.
Okay. And she kind of like takes it. You can see Voss here watching her this whole time, just trying to get some insight. And the most you pick up is, okay, that's kind of weird. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. She then will make her way over to you, Orchid.
Hi.
Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't get to know you very well, Miss Orkira, but I liked your stories and your Martian mellows.
Oh, thank you. I liked your stories and giving you marshmallows. Did you want one before we go? And I'll hold out the bag.
Hold the hand up.
Orkira will turn the bag over and dump out whatever has been created into the bag, so probably like 4 or 5 marshmallows.
Okay.
But she won't give her the whole bag. And so she'll dump out whatever's inside and take back the bag and go, all right, well, don't eat those or eat them all at once. I mean, either way, I would recommend not eating them all at once. But, yeah, that should last you for a little while. And then when we come back, I'll have more.
She smiles.
Did you want something while we were gone?
If you find something fun.
Okay, could you be more specific about what you like, what you find fun?
I can assist you.
Okay. All right. If I find something that Finley says is fun for you, I'll try to get it for you.
And I'm gonna walk up to Pixel and give her a hug and whisper in her ear in Gnomish and say, "That was better than I could have expected."
And then as she's hugging you, she whispers back in Gnomish, I'm not done.
Oh.
Thanks for the doll, Miss Finley.
Of course, it's my pleasure.
And then with like a super solemn look and somberness, she just kind of shuffles her feet over to Voss. Mr. Ronto, I know I'm supposed to steal it, but you're going to be gone and I can't follow. So I was wondering if we could pause the game and I could wear it till you get back.
I would like to make a contested roll on this so that she earns it. Her
Okay.
deception versus my insight.
Okay.
Boss has to make a wisdom saving throw to be nice.
Oh, we talked about this shit. Ooh, it's pretty good. 22.
Oh, there's debate.
There's debate.
Ooh.
I'm excited about what this number is because
If she beats me, I'll give it up.
my passive insight is a 19, so I think there might be a
16,
moment.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
If I knew she was doing this, I'd give her bardic inspiration, but I don't.
I just want her to earn it.
There's a moment where you think you pick up something, but with your passive insight, or not your passive, but your insight from earlier and watching her this whole time, it's hard to tell.
Ooh. What did she roll?
Natural 20.
For a 23.
Wow.
You better work.
Better give her that baggie.
Voss, shocked a little bit at her sincerity and very initially suspicious. Won't say anything. But he will take the necklace off of his neck and hand it to her, feeling that no matter what the outcome is, she has earned this in some way, shape, or form.
And you slip it over her head,
Mm-hmm.
and you see her kind of like clamber up on top of a table. And she looks at all of you and goes, Declan and I are going to miss you a lot. But before you go, I just want you to know, I win! Miss Finley told me to trick Mr. Harold into giving me this exact necklace to impress you, Mr. Ronto. And then Mr. Liam told me at the party that a good rogue is not only quick-fingered, but quick-witted, and said the best con was to convince you to give up the coin willingly. And I did both. The student has become the teacher.
I start applauding immediately, of course.
I join him.
He joins in.
Well done. Well done.
I walk up to her, very close, a little miffed, my pride a little hurt, but I just kind of tussle her hair, and I say, well, clearly when I see you again, I'll have to make the game much harder. You've advanced quite a bit. Very difficult.
And you see her standing atop with, her fists were rested on her hips. And as you tussle her hair, she smiles, but all that joy just instantly fades to somber and truly defeated look. She goes, well, I do have a lot of help along the way. I am going to miss you. Like I miss Yosef.
Oh, honey. You'll see us again, just like you're going to see Yosef again.
Make sure you come back.
I promise.
We'll be back.
I'll bring you back something to help with your new elevation, I suppose.
I do have to warn you, friend here may not make the trip.
Who? Oh, I thought that was Chuckles.
No. Yeah. It is.
Well.
And on that note.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, look, sun's coming up. We got to get going.
Oh, we're running behind. Let's go.
I'll give Pixel a quick hug, and then I will say goodbye to everybody.
Kara kind of waves you by.
Do I
I'll
see
make
Declan?
sure it's still working when you get
Is
back.
Declan there?
Yeah.
Declan's there too. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I hug him.
Yeah, he's still waking up.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
very much.
There is one more thing I want to do,
Okay.
but I want to wait for everybody to leave the bar first.
Okay.
I'll just be kind of like, hey, guys, I'll catch up with you in just a second. I just got to check one more thing real quick.
Gotcha, we'll be there.
Declan, take care of your sister, okay?
Orkira has gone over to the bar and is just chugging whatever warm drink she's able to get from Javier. And he's just like, yeah, no, this is great. Do you have any coffee or tea or just hot water? I'll take hot
There's
water.
Coffee. We hands you coffee.
Okay. And she just downs as hot as she can find, like scalding hot. And then we'll go, okay, that'll do me for a little while. Okay. And we'll head out.
Harold will wait a little bit. Is Billrick in?
You mean Flinrick?
Flinrick. That's it. All right, not Billrick.
Billrick is completely different.
Flinrick. Is Flinrick in?
Yeah, he's in.
Yeah, he's been basically cleaning the place up. And
I don't call him over or anything. I just like, hey man, see you. I'll see you another time. All right. And I want to make an insight check.
Okay. Make an insight check.
Harold's paranoia is getting the better of him. Flinrick showed up out of nowhere. We know the Harlequin's still alive. He has to know. So he's going to take a quick peek and just read him for a second. 23.
You know, without a doubt, that Flinrick was resurrected by Avron and brought through the mists of somewhere that Flinrick described as what some of your friends have described as Barovia, the scary story boogeyman world of
Hot vampire Strahd.
Yeah.
Listen, Harold can't help himself. But feeling much more at ease now. He's going to give one last wave. He's going to dust himself off, and he's going to say, "He's not here," and he's going to walk out confidently, feeling a lot better about his situation.
And in this movie moment, we're all like in the carriage that we're holding for him, like, come on.
Yeah. And then I get in, but then it pans over and it's like Biblio pulls off a mask.
And then you hear this strange tritone. It was Biblio all along.
All right.
That was so good. But as you exit the tavern,
and you're holding the carriage,
and before you all leave towards Caravan Court in the Southern Ward, you hear a newsboy standing on top of a crate, screaming out for people to buy the daily Waterdeep Wazoo newspaper.
Extra! Read all about it. Harbor attack from new gang could lead to higher prices of many everyday items, and the field ward becomes an official part of the city.
I grab a paper.
Okay. It is
5 copper pieces.
Got it.
Seisha, your keen mind remembers the last time you bought one in the North Ward.
Yep.
You paid 2 silver pieces for it.
Interesting. Okay.
It's only 5 copper now.
Yeah.
City's doing good.
Seisha climbs back in with the newspaper, and I'm going to look at her and say, oh yeah, that's a good idea. That can supplement when we run out of toilet paper.
Yeah.
I have magic.
You don't have to worry. I bought.
Are you going to follow each of us to go do our duties?
I mean, not Harold.
Wait, just Harold? Why just Harold?
No, that's fair. That's fair. I bought like 300 rolls or something. That's like half my bag.
I've heard too many horror stories of the Rash Pants to assist him with anything under there.
That's fair.
And
That's
I'm a
actually-
trained
that's-
medical
that's really
professional.
fair.
I've seen the worst the body has to offer.
I
No,
thought
you
you were just
haven't.
being modest.
No, you haven't. Not till you worn the pants. You have not. All right.
And
let's-
we are
Yeah, we-
sending you the newspaper right now.
Awesome.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Seisha will pass it around as she's doing stuff.
Now it's just going to be 5 minutes of us sitting here in silence, reading a newspaper. Enjoy that, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an article about me. Should I read that one?
What?
Y'all can read aloud whatever you want.
Okay, I'll go first. Fiends in the night. Fiends seen lording over the Sea Ward as investigations begin looking into if occults have made deals with devils. Nobles claim to have seen a shape-shifting, fiendish, horned woman with a shadow that matches the description of a Tiamat devil. Is this the work of the new Red Wing? The occult actions behind the Castellanter massacre? Darker deeds of the Black Viper? Or something more sinister awaiting the Splendors? That's me!
Congratulations!
You see, Orkira is using a claw to like dig into where some of the red is still in some of her scales that she just hasn't quite gotten rid of yet. She's like, well, I'm glad that it worked out and nobody knew it was us.
Oh no. Building material cost is expected to rise because of the harbor incident. That's going to make it more expensive to build up the field ward.
But at least the Herodess sightings have gone down drastically. Maybe they're getting better at hiding it.
Maybe. Oh. Hey, they didn't name us. They just said a group.
It's just monkey.
It's-
That's the whole article.
I thought that was on purpose.
Okay,
I thought
wait
it
a
was too.
Again, if you
Open
guys
Lord
want
has
to
a-
read that for our audio listeners.
Yeah, I was about to. The Open Lord has officially integrated the Field Ward into the City of Splendors. She was quoted saying, in these troubling times of multiple dangers, it is our privilege and responsibility to help protect all those who work in our wards and live within all of our city walls. Thanks to a group of adventurers who returned the tax money once stolen by the former Open Lord, it is now possible. A small discourse and divide has run through the city in response to the old tax money filtering into the hands of the less fortunate, who paid only a small fraction of what was stolen. However, most Waterdavians are more than happy to have their workers and refugees find solace, protection, and peace. On the other hand, some privileged and misguided few fear a rise in taxes in the future from the guilds to help protect, feed, shelter, and educate the sudden increase in city population. The Open Lord has assured the city that she will do everything she can to keep costs at a minimum and encourages everyone to work together for a better and brighter future.
That's great.
We're sending you the fully written one.
No, I like monkey.
Monkey.
Monkey!
That's the whole article.
The whole article.
Guys, so for you at home or anybody who's listening to the podcast, they shortened it down because obviously it's a lot to read, and they want us to make sure we just get the gist of some of these. And so the top right one just reads monkey.
Monkey with no Y.
And it's
Oh, why?
MONKE.
Oh my
No
god!
why.
And I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I don't know why that got me so bad.
No, that's good.
I
That's good. That's our
couldn't
fault.
breathe. I was dying.
Seisha, you got like one of the preprint test runs. Go back and get the one that has the full article. This one
No.
just
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll be right back.
yeah.
That's probably worth a lot of money sometimes.
I know why it was only a couple copper now.
That totally makes sense.
The picture next to the word
Oh,
makes
man.
it just sells it for me.
That's what made me laugh so hard.
Okay, you have the new link with the.
Okay, thank you.
final
Thank
one.
you.
Yep, I pulled it up. Not the work
Okay,
in progress
cool.
one. Sorry.
I am
My bad.
so
So
sorry.
good. So good.
Holy God.
Oh my god.
Curious.
If you join
Kirsten.
our Discord, we will upload both of them so you can
Yes!
also enjoy
Yes, you got it.
the
It's so
funnies.
good.
Please, because everybody thinks I'm like a maniac right now. They're all like wondering what the hell's wrong with Ethan. I just couldn't deal with it. Oh my
Hey,
God.
you made the paper
Monkey.
by
I
name.
did?
Yeah. Curious Curatives, a potion shop in the north end of the castle ward, was attacked by a savage beast, nearly destroying it entirely. Thanks to the actions of V, Vetterrock, and Rainier Neverember, there was no further damage done to the city nor harm to any civilians. The giant ape turned out to be the effects of a maliciously mislabeled drought bought on the black market. Ooh. The young man responsible for the damages was apprehended by authorities, but under further investigation, blame shifted to the shop owner. The proprietor confessed to have purchased a filter of love at a discount with intent to double his money. However, it had been switched with a polymorph potion. I guess this proves you get what you pay for. I did not write that article. It may sound like it at the end, but I did not write it.
It sounds like you did,
It does.
especially given the events of the last 5 minutes.
You know, I see now why they meant just the letter when they asked.
Yeah.
But it kind of looks cool.
I like it.
Vivetarak.
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 Awesome. I'm so glad they put it in there.
Vivetarak.
Yay.
I think I kind of like just the V.
It's very
I might
stylish.
start
It is.
doing
Yeah,
that.
I like it.
I
It's
can
quite
do like
cool.
like my signature can become like this really ornate, just V.
Oh yeah, learn to do like really fancy calligraphy and
Yeah.
all sorts of colors, and then
We have
just a big
friend-
V.
We have a friend who's into calligraphy. It's actually Voss's friend.
I know a little bit of calligraphy. I wasn't great at it, but I know some.
I'd
Like,
suggest that we
I
could
can do a signature.
I'd suggest that we try while we're on the road, but it's actually really hard to
I
do
like
that.
this
when
new
you-
man Shun article.
Read it for us. My eyes suddenly
wow.
don't work.
I'd love to. Okay. A new man Shun. Oh goodness gracious, I'm gonna lose it. A shipment of raw supplies from the south headed into the Splendors Harbor has met an explosive end. Oh wait, I think we already talked about this one, didn't we?
I just talked about some of the information in it. I didn't actually
Oh.
read it.
Sure, I'll read it. This is the second ship this year, adding another to the list of vessels claimed by Umberlee's cache. The loss of metal ore and wood will cause prices in both to increase, affecting the entire metal market from armory to locks and building material, as well as the paper industry, firewood, all carpentry, etc. Despite rumors of the assault being from a massive glistening red manta ray, the attack seems to be orchestrated by a new black network after their symbol was seen burning in the oil and sap that was left floating in the calm bay waters. That brilliant son of a bitch.
Oh, it was amazing.
If anyone has any information about this group or giant monstrosity, please notify your nearest watch member.
Hmm.
And I don't know if you noticed, but that symbol in the upper left-hand corner.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Wow.
So,
Oh, that's awesome.
I was
Very nice,
distracted
very nice,
by
guys.
monkey.
It was kind of interesting. This paper was like a quarter of the price of the last one that I had bought.
Freedom of press?
I can word.
Getting better? I don't know. I don't know
Wait,
who comes up
the
with
abbreviated one was more expensive?
No.
they're all the same
No,
price.
no, it was 5 copper, and last time I got a paper, it was like 2 silver.
Maybe they're having hard times with people getting. Why wouldn't people read the paper?
Or maybe the city's doing better. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's also a missing persons report about someone named Damara Worstein with Seisha Valispard at Trollskull Manor in this newspaper.
Could
Yeah,
something-
I took an ad out trying to find my mom.
Oh,
Hopefully she'll read the ad.
Well, Mr. Trench doesn't think she's in the city. Or if she is, she's not going by that name.
perhaps next time you shouldn't attach your name. I mean this in the best possible way, Seisha. She left once. I fear that attaching your name to inquiries about her may scare her away from the spot.
But wouldn't she want to know what happened to me?
Sometimes people's selfishness overrides their maternal instincts.
Take it from me. Parents are unpredictable. You
Just
can't-
remember that parents are people. They have their own motivations of doing the things that they do sometimes.
Not everybody is good-hearted as you. A lot of people out there are just selfish pricks.
And sometimes people do bad things for a good reason. She may want to contact you, but there's a reason that she doesn't.
Or she may not realize this is going on at all, and she really isn't in the city, and we just have to look further.
Yeah.
We're not going to stop. Doesn't necessarily
Weird
mean a
thing
bad
is,
thing.
all the mentions of a D Worstain that Mr. Trench could find were hundreds of years old.
Could
Is your mother an elf?
I don't think so.
Wait, but then that would make Seisha a half elf.
Not always. It depends on how potent elven blood is in the lineage. That doesn't matter right
So
now.
she could be like a fourth elf.
Or an eighth. Yes.
V starts to like look at Seisha's ears.
Or maybe your mom's a time traveler.
That's a thing.
That
Or she-
Unfortunately, yes. It's never fun, but yeah.
I figured.
So like
How long do Asimar
she could
live?
be her own grandmother.
Can I roll a nature check or a medicine check?
Or actually, I learned that from
You did. From Yoan.
Yoan, yeah. Isn't it like a little over 100 years?
I remember it's very similar to human, but
Yeah, I think it's just a little longer than human. I think it was like 100 to 120.
That's a natural one. So
That's a natural.
you're on
Yeah.
your own here.
humans, but a few more years. So
Oh, okay.
100 to 120 is a good estimate.
How long y'all think humans live back in these days?
I don't know. I kind of hoped if she saw my name, she would be more inclined to answer it.
Maybe these are some good, more specific questions we can ask the Phoenix tonight when we take a rest.
Yeah.
You know, because we tried to ask about your mom, then we got the maybe answer. Maybe this time we ask some really specific stuff.
Maybe we could just ask if Seisha's mom is alive.
Or I was thinking more like, is she in Waterdeep? Is she? Did she see the paper? Did she?
I would
You
just be
know.
happy to know she's alive.
Yeah, but we asked that and we got the wishy-washy. So.
But we asked Damara Worstain, and if that's an assumed name,
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, we can try that.
Could be she chose a really old name specifically because nobody would look for it.
Right.
maybe she chose an old name because there's something to it.
Also, this
Be a
is
hint.
the longest carriage ride we've ever had.
It's about that time. As you make your way down the high road and onto Satra's Lane, you see that Caravan Court is busy as usual. Although traffic slows in the odd hours of the night, you can tell it is a part of the city that never sleeps due to the passers and goers making their way through the city. It isn't long before you see 3 wagons in a line facing south on the rising ride, ready to leave the city. However, as some of you look around for other things, you do not see any haunting mist ushering in shadowed echoes of the old Ruid on his stroll, nor do you see an old weathered grandfather clock.
But as you approach, you notice Doran, the half-orc bully blade, strapping down some last-minute things to ensure nothing shakes loose along the day's journey. And feeding the horses, you see the gnomish toy maker, Bilver, notice you as he smiles and beckons you over.
Ah, good! You're not late! We are just about to head out. Look, looks like you packed light, which is good. I'm not sure if we have much more room left behind eating bare essentials. We'll have to split you all into 2 per cart. Doran will give you the quick rundown of everyone joining us. Once you secure the things, we can be on our merry way. Doran, help our adventuring friends out and introduce them to everyone, please.
You are very perky for it being so early.
And he
I
just
like it.
smiles and, time to hit the road. As he goes on, you notice the half-orc mercenary bodyguard continues strapping down the cart while he talks, seemingly paying you no mind, but does as he's asked.
He's always like this. But you know me and Bilva. We also have Grolfo, a member of the Wagoners Guild, riding in our wagon. At least until the other 2 split off as they continue south past Daggerford. He and Bilver love talking about wood making, but he truly is just here to keep our carriages in shape. Second cart is Fabian and Aurora's merchant, his hired guard Fro, strong silent type, and with an odd Athkatlan lip tattoo. And they also have the caravan's cook, Demay. Last carriage is Destrian, a blacksmith of arms looking to make coin in Baldur's Gate. His bully blade and lover Geta are riding with Selorphin, an Emerald Enclave member, for any navigation or survival problems that might arise. We have room for 2 more with us, 2 with them, and 2 in the back. The rest will have to decide amongst themselves. Vinley, is Friend out and about?
He's just standing right behind me.
You have an extra one.
Oh.
Wasn't here the other day.
Yes, I hired him yesterday during the evening. He's here to help me stay safe and feel safer. His name is Friend.
We don't have the room. It wasn't accounted for.
He can walk. He's
I can. No, it's okay. I've got a steed. I can ride, and he can take my place in one of the wagons.
Fair enough.
Are these covered wagons?
There is 2 covered, 1 open.
And the covering, is it cloth or are they?
One is cloth. One is like a more like your standard,
Like a Vardo.
a Vardo. That's the toy makers. And then there's a covered wagon, and then the arms dealer is just open, and you see crates and armor bits and weapon bits and stuff,
Okay.
strewn about, and that one.
Maybe me and V should take the armor smith.
Yeah, that works for me.
who was in the cloth covered one?
Well, either Akira or Seisha should be in the first one. So that we
I'm
have...
riding my horse.
Okay, then maybe Akira should be in the first one so that we have a good eye out, and then Seisha can run behind and keep an eye on the back as well.
Sure.
I was kind of thinking every once in a while I just go take a flight and look around, so I can
That's
kind of
fair.
be anywhere. In fact, and she'll point to the toy makers one and say, I was kind of thinking we're going with them because if I need to land really quickly, I can land on top of their cart.
Sounds good to me.
I'll take the cloth one with the navigation expert.
So that is Fabian, and he was the Aurora's Realm Shop merchant, and also has his bodyguard Fro, and the.
So you're looking for the scout.
And you're,
I just want to be in the covered cloth wagon.
Okay.
I just wanted to know who was in there.
yeah, and the third member of that is the cook domain, a stout
good.
female half.
Can I roll a history check on the Aurora shops?
Absolutely.
You can do so with advantage.
Yep.
Because it sounds familiar.
There's a reason.
23.
Okay.
It's the most popular shop in all of Faerun. There's 1 to 10 in every city.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there's 5 in Waterdeep. You've been to 2 of them.
Yep.
That makes
They
sense.
have everything.
Oh, perfect. Then we will have titillating conversations.
Voss, something in the last conversation perked your ears. If you would like to make a history check, you can do so with advantage on Athcatlan.
On what?
Athcatlan.
Okay.
As it was said that Fro, the strong, silent mercenary, had an odd Athcatlan lip tattoo.
I was wondering about that.
18.
You can roll a history check as well, Vinley, but you have to roll regular.
18.
23 again.
Okay. You both know.
The Athkatla, Athkatla to be the city of coin, the wealthiest city in all of Faerun, and oligarchy capital of Am. But Voss, you know it best because it is the southern cesspool of piracy, smuggling, and debauchery where almost anything is legal, including slavery, which are marked with a chattel-branded tattoo on the inside of their lower lips. The one thing you liked most about the city, though, was that arcane magic was strictly illegal.
And you would know that last part as well, Vinley.
Yeah.
And which it was Selorphin?
No, Selorphin is in the third one. The one with the lip tattoo is Fro.
Oh, why do you have to be in my tent?
Because it's good story.
Yeah.
And Fro, you see, is a middle-aged human woman with cropped, wavy white hair, vibrant, verdant green eyes.
Like me.
She's a little bit shorter, standing at 5'5", with olive skin. And if it weren't for her hardened demeanor and multiple scars, you could easily tell that she once had the softest skin and kindest eyes. Her cropped, wavy, platinum white hair stands out almost as much as her very long fingers. And you notice Vinley, Orkira, and Seisha notice that she is eyeing you very hard, Seisha, in a not kind way.
She's just eyeing Seisha.
Seisha?
Correct.
Oh, we're gonna have to talk about that on the ride.
Hi.
Do you approach her?
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as you walk up, she puts a hand up. You're not welcome here. Turns her back and climbs into the car.
I climb into the cart with friend. And I'm like giving Seisha like a
Seisha will scooch away and mount up.
And then Vinley just sits there. She'll bring it up later.
I'll follow Seisha over to her as she's summoning Bernie and just quietly, under my breath, say, I think you should be welcome everywhere.
I'm guessing she's had a bad experience with one of my kind.
That's not an excuse, but,
Well, people handle their struggles differently. It's okay, I'll win her over.
Isn't your kind supposed to be really good and stuff?
Not always.
Well, you've been really good. Our experiences with a really, really good Aasimar.
If an Aasimar is corrupted, they become really bad.
But that's an if, and how would people know that by looking at you?
I don't know, but she's obviously got some reason.
I poke my head out because I assume this is a rather loud conversation.
No, this is on your side, always.
Quietly.
Okay, never mind.
Well, I'll make sure I stick a kick me sign on her or something later.
No,
Let's get going. What?
Harold, she's got a reason. I'm sure people don't just act like that.
I can't hear you because I'm so busy already scribbling a kick me sign. It's happening before any reason can stop me. Listen, I've got it armed up. It's loaded in the canister. I've got the hammer pulled back. I'm ready to pull the trigger on this thing anytime I want, like one of those metal wands. But until then, I'm just gonna hold on to it. Okay, I'm just gonna hold on to it. We got
can
mutually assured destruction.
Let's remember,
Thanks, Harold.
We're all in this together with these people in this caravan, but let's also remember these are temporary friends. We don't have to be best friends forever with these people. We just have to get along and protect each other. So
Okay.
If she wants to be an asshole, she can go do that after we've left
And get kicked a lot. Let's go.
All right. Who's going where?
The only spot left for me is the spot next to Okira, so that's where I will go.
You're gonna join me with Doran, Bilver, and Glofo?
Grolfo.
Oh, okay.
Not by choice, but that's the only spot left.
No.
Oh.
I don't have a problem with you. I got a problem with weird toy maker, dude.
One, I can make friend ride with Akira.
Ride with your dead body.
Are you switching up?
No. I'm not sending a skeleton to sit next to her for that many hours.
Vinley knows that she, would like
She
to have the
won't
skeleton
get
at
him
the
back.
end of the trip, and there might be a whoopsie if Orkir has to spend 8 hours with a skeleton next to her.
Yeah.
And that puts Harold and V in the last cart, with Seisha on the side. So to kind of go over descriptions, to kind of give you all a better understanding, we'll start with the first cart with Voss and Orkira. You are with Bilfer Gadri, the gnomish toy maker, as you have talked to and been introduced to as well. He's bald, has brown eyes, rugged tan skin that's very sun-kissed. He's about 3 foot tall, but with a muscular build, despite being a toy maker. Maybe it's the repetitious work of working with the hand tools. And
Any signs of being a former fighter on him?
No.
Okay.
But he does have one of his teeth is made of solid gold. As you remember that he is a worshiper of Garl Glittergold.
Yep.
Yes.
His bodyguard is Doran. He's a half-orc. Also bald with brown eyes. He has rough green and light gray vitiligo skin. And he wields kind of has a breastplate on, a short sword strapped to his back along with the shield as well. Definitely looks like he knows how to carry himself in a fight.
Yep. He's about 6'1" with a lean build.
The third companion in your carriage is a Lightfoot halfling. He is Grolfo. He's a member of the Wagoneers Guild, and he loves to work with wood. Anytime you look over, he's usually whittling away something, carving something out of wood.
In the second cart is Fabian Clevis. And Fabian is an older, into his 60s, human male. He has cropped black and gray peppered hair with vibrant blue eyes. He has also rugged, sun-kissed skin. He's about 5'8", and seems pretty kind. But almost juxtaposed to him is
Fro, his bodyguard, which we've already described. And then the other one is another halfling. This one is a stout halfling, so very similar to Petunia's in build and stoutness, whereas the other one's more wiry and thin. And she is the cook, and always you can always smell spices and other things coming from her, as constantly trying to keep everyone fed on the trip.
And did you say Fro was human looking?
Human, yes.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
And in the third carriage is Destrian Thump. And Destrian is an arms and armors dealer. And he is a middle-aged human. But he seems to have, and he has this dark, silky chocolate skin, bald head, but with blue eyes, and he stands a little shorter for a human.
Yeah, he's not even 5 feet. He's like 4'11".
But he also has this really nice, bushy black beard that goes to about chest length. But he doesn't have the full facial features or the stoutness of a dwarf. Although you kind of see just a little bit in there.
His bodyguard, and who you learn is his lover.
But the most identifying thing about
identifying
thing about this armor is he is missing his left hand. It just ends at a stump.
Yep. But his lover is Geta. She is a mountain dwarf, and heavily armored and armed, probably with his arms and armor, and stays close to his side. You can definitely tell that with your passive insight, that affection, as there is that just longing stare with each other, the occasional butt grab when no one's looking, that coupley thing that totally happens, that all of us do in relation.
But she has short curled auburn hair, but shaved on the right side.
Oh.
And she has blue eyes, smooth golden skin, and has a square face, but has a long braided beard. And she smells of roses.
Yep.
And lastly is the high elf Cellarfin, who is a member of the Emerald Enclave, and very much looks like he belongs more in the woods than he does in any city.
Yep.
He has straight brown hair, but with these dark brick red eyes.
Which race was he?
High elf.
High elf. Thank
So
you.
sun elf to be exact. More in Faerun Elven.
And he has red eyes.
He does have red eyes. Yes.
Cool.
Can I have a little refresh on Emerald Enclave because that's where he's from, right?
Correct.
That's the faction.
Yep. So he has
Druid faction.
a brooch on his cloak that is in the shape of a leaf that has a deer head, like a buck on or a stag on the.
And the Emerald Enclave is a faction very similar to the Harpers and all of those factions, but they deal more so with maintaining nature and making sure that the city world does not over encroach and there's a balance to the world.
Yep.
Do I remember if the Emerald Enclave had a presence where I'm from? Or is it mainly Sword Coast?
They did not.
It's not Sword Coast. It's Faerun. So the whole continent of Faerun.
And with Evermeet kind of being literally sequestered away from and hidden from the world, there's outside influences doesn't really penetrate them very much.
Yep. So just double checking because I got chills down my entire back when I was like,
Like, what?
Yep. But he is wearing mostly leathers, has a longbow and a longbow and quiver strapped over his back, with a short sword at his waist. But he rides with you, V, and Harold. But one thing that you do notice is as you look, he actually has multiple piercings up the sides of his ears and what appear to be 3 freshly pierced rings in his left eyebrow.
can I roll like a history to see if those have any like status markers or if those are just like mine decoration?
You don't even have to roll it. There's no status or it's
Okay.
nothing. Yeah, no cultural benefit to it.
Okay.
It just seems to like piercings.
He just looks cooler.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
As soon as we start going, I introduce myself to the halflings and halfling, and then I turn to Fro and I say, "So what was that back there?" And I kind of flash my ring of Jergal.
kind of looks at you and then just turns back.
Very cold shouldery.
Okay. We're not going to have a conversation. I'm going to speak. The woman you were so rude to back there is one of my dearest friends. And I don't care what kind of history you have, but you will be polite to her or we will have a very rough journey.
She will turn to you and will actually... You will not threaten me again, as I was held captive by those who carried that shield for many years, and I fought my way to freedom. So I will not be kind and respectful to her. So if you would do me a favor and keep your mouth shut, it will be a short journey. And she turns and gives you the cold shoulder once again.
So how are you? And she turns to Demay and halfling.
All right, and we will get to that in just a second. But once everyone is situated, you realize it is a tight squeeze. Not uncomfortably so, but only just barely. But a free ride is the cost of comfort. The carriage makes off down the high road to the south gate. As you pass through, you see carts being stopped and inspected as they enter, but not as they leave. Voss, keeping your eyes alert, looking for the Doom Raider Tashlin, you see her give a quick gesture. None of the rest of you understand, but you understanding thieves can't simply mean message received.
I give signal quickly back to her in the same way, but say nothing else as I kind of just take one last look at the city and feel a tense bit of apprehension in my chest as we leave.
Just past the gates, the world opens up into a vast, rolling, green grassland and farmland as far as the eye can see. You make your way down the hard, packed earthen roads, A calm breeze washed away the rising heat brought on by the summer sun as a few scattered clouds decorate the vibrant sky. You all take in the moment, look back at the high city walls and the cityscape behind you, knowing it's going to be a long while before you return. Some of you enjoy the thought of respite outside the city walls, excited for a new adventure. Some of you worry about friends and loved ones you are leaving behind, hoping the safety measures you put in place will be enough. One of you hope the seeds of machinations grow wild enough to bear fruit. But you all think about the times you've been away from the city, and a small amount of dread washes over you, fearing what evils await for you in the wilds this time.
And throughout the day, you all make your way south, getting to know your short-term traveling companions.
Vinley, as you have embarked and after your conversation, you watch as Fro actually leaves the back and goes and sits next to oh god, I just forgot.
Fabian?
Yes, Fabian. And quietly just rides.
I just have a lovely conversation rather loudly with Demay. And we'll switch in and out of halfling at her or at their leisure. And I will also just brag about Seisha for a while, pretty loudly in common. Y'all haven't gotten to see Vinley be mean in a while.
Yeah. My sister's nice.
Like, there are
At one point, Seisha, hearing this, kind of rides up so that she gets within Venley's view. And goes back to the back again.
I'd imagine since Voss has no interest in talking to some of these people, that Orkira has taken whatever seat is closest to the three that we're riding with.
That would be a very good assumption.
Yeah. Like she'll kind of eye Voss and then go do her best to sit comfortably, probably awkwardly because this carriage is weird.
I would give you as much space as I can, as I require very little and I'm used to cramped holdings.
Yeah.
He is like holding her knees, like kind of trying to not take up too much space because she feels bad.
Yeah. I've got my wings tucked. Like part of it is I'm still cold, but also like, this is all right. Hey, if you need me to go take a flight and look around, just let me know. Also be good to just give you some space. So tell me about your toys. And then like all the stuff that Orkira will just politely listen to and be, oh, okay, yeah, sure.
And you are riding in what is obviously the nicest cart of the three. But the crowding of the bodies, the furniture, the tools, the toys, and large moving crates doesn't make it any more comfortable. The sound of clanking wood from the hanging toys brings a constant but peaceful hollow wind chime percussion to the ride on the unpaved road. Doran seems to take the reins for a majority of the time, while the gnome toymaker and wood carving guild artisan discuss wood types and carving techniques and tell you all about which woods are best for toys, which one's best for holding the mechanics in order to be strong enough to hold the winding mechanisms. And as gnomes do, he goes off on this huge tangent that does not seem to stop. And the entire time, it's almost as if he's screaming inside of the Bardo wagon. But eventually he looks to you and asks,
So, what brings you to Daggerford?
My God.
Fair enough, I am going for my god as well. Well, kind of.
Nice.
I feel like I've, been blessed by him. Have I told you about him? Garl Glittergold is his name.
I'm familiar, but what's your god want in Daggerford?
Oh, nothing really. It's more for me. I love Garl brings me such joy, and I want to bring other people joy. That's why I became a toy maker. You see, I'm opening up a toy shop there in hopes to bring more joy to the orphanage that's there.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Seisha's just in the back twitching.
Yeah, V's face is completely glazed over. And like
So just so you know, V, you're in another carriage.
I'm in another carriage?
You're with
we're
Harold
in
in
the
the
last
carriage,
one.
yeah.
Oh my god. Who am I with? Gosh darn
Harold.
it.
Harold.
Just Harold?
Just Harold.
And
Well,
the
Harold, you're with
And 3 NPCs.
Harold the blacksmith.
Harold the blacksmith, the bully blade lover of the blacksmith, and the high elf from the Emerald Enclave.
Yeah.
Pedestrian.
Okay, cool. My mistake.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, this carriage is just Voss or Kira, and then their 3 NPCs.
Got
If
it.
there's going,
I'm just assuming I could hear it because of my high perception.
Yeah, you're riding up and down. That's
Yeah, I'm just kind of circling around, keeping
I
an
will-
eye out.
go ahead and ask, as I'm sure this conversation moves on for a while, and since he's asking us there, do any of you know anything about about Morwen Daggerford?
I just know that she's the leading ruling lady there, and can't wait to make her acquaintance as I make some toys for her and her family, hopefully.
Do you already have connections with the ruling people in Daggerford? That's kind of
Yes.
cool.
no, we do not. But I'm sure it'll be easy. It's a small province of Waterdeep. No, is it owned by Waterdeep?
I don't know.
We'll find out. I'm sure any person willing to bring more joy, business to a small city will be good enough.
I mean, you could do both joy and business. Why not both? Have you ever thought about burning your wood, like nice scorch marks on the outside?
And for a moment, you see the carpenter kind of like his eyes light up with like fury, confusion, like, and then you explain by scorching to make the wood grain itself pop more, and then there's a little bit of calm that washes over him.
Is he just... That could be really fun.
Now, if you ever feel like experimenting, especially while we're doing nothing but traveling, let me know. I'm trying to resist, but there's a lot of wood.
Please don't scorch my wagon.
No. Well, and if there's anything that goes wrong with it, I can mend it too. So,
Oh, that is helpful. Yes. You know what is a good way to pass the time? Jokes. Yes, jokes. Have you ever heard the joke about the noble gala?
and is it at this point that we start getting jokes, but all of these jokes are ones that I've heard from Harold already?
I don't think you've heard this one.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't.
Oh, all right. There was a young noble lad who wanted to ask a young lady to a young noble's courting gala, but he was nervous, and his nerves caused him to wait and wait and wait until the last day to buy tickets, the grand event. So he went up to her and asked her to join him. She said yes, but only under the condition that he make an extreme effort, since he waited until the last minute and she didn't want to feel like a last-minute choice. So he goes and buys a ticket for the event, but it seems Minnie made the same mistake. He did, and there's a long line, so he waits, and he waits, and he waits until he can get tickets, and he buys the last 2 at the stroke of Timora's luck. He then goes by the haberdashery, where to buy a new suit, because you can't wear an old suit to a new event, but everyone is there to pick up their suits, and they have already put in orders, so he waits and he waits and he waits until, although he doesn't get the design he was hoping for, he gets a nice suit that he knows will still impress. So, the day of the event comes around, and on the way to pick her up, he panics, remembering he hadn't picked up a corsage and matching boutonniere. So, he sees the floral shop, and overloaded with people, he kicks himself for being forgetful. But he waits and waits and he waits, and all that's left are white gardenias. A beautiful flower, but not the right meaning for the occasion. That flower means family. So anyways, he makes it to the young woman's house and knocks at the door, where he is met by the imposing... Lord of the house, that's it, sorry, I forget it sometimes. He greets him kindly and says that his daughter is still getting ready So they make awkward small talk as the young man waits and waits and waits. Eventually, she comes down and she's stunning. Excited to see the effort he's put in so far, but knows that they're running late. And in noble society, that's not good. Oh, it is good to be fashionable. Fashionable late, that is. But never too early, never too late. So, they take their carriage to the grand event at the Holford Banquet Manor and see that there is a long line of young nobles waiting in and they are being checked by the contraband or anything like alcohol and the two get talking and they wait and they wait and they wait. And once inside, they have a wonderful time talking, laughing and dancing. But after a while, they start to get thirsty. And the young lady asks for a drink and the young man complies and returns fairly shortly after. There was no punchline.
Oh, it's a very nice story. But they had a fun time?
They had a great time, yes.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I'm glad your friends had fun. And I imagine Orkira sitting there just like earnestly listening to this joke/story and is just happy to, she is very good at just listening to people, doesn't pick up on the fact that this is supposed to be a joke. She's like, oh, okay, that's a really nice story. Yeah.
I literally texted in the chat. My thought is this has to be a joke about Harold or Rainier. And then that happened. And I was just like,
after the second waits and waits and waits, I knew what the punchline was.
Yep. It's my favorite joke.
It's a great joke.
So we're gonna move over to the second card.
But you are correct, Orkira. Most of the other jokes that is being told throughout the day, you have heard before as you finish punchlines for him.
No. Orkira's polite enough.
Okay.
She will not stop this guy from retelling all of the jokes. She will internally judge whether he told it better or worse than Harold, and Orkira will automatically be like, oh, Harold told it better. No, Harold told that one better. But she will not stop this guy. She will be polite and
Yeah,
listen.
and you definitely get this. Harold tells almost all of them better because he's definitely one of those types of joke tellers that forgets the joke partway through, but then remembers a little bit further on. So it's
Next
very
time-
awkward joke telling.
next time just name the character Rhea. Like
one of those storytellers that's like, if the punchline is, you just had to be there.
Yeah.
Oh my God. My eyelash came off because of that joke.
You
That's so
are
hard it came
welcome.
off.
I have to put my hair up front. No.
Is Voss just in pain in the back this whole time? Like,
Voss, in his mind, briefly thinks if you weren't in the cart, he would probably tell us of telling the joke. Have I ever told you the one of the mouthy gnome who wouldn't shut up and got his throat magically slit by some dude? There is no punchline.
Halfling, the gnome is driving. Halfling is the one who's telling the jokes. And if you ever say that, he's like,
No, I don't, because I'm
Yeah.
really there. I think it, but I just keep quiet.
Oh my God, that was funny.
The second cart is a simple merchant cart filled only with wares and good packed neatly into various sized barrels and crates. The clattering of glass bottles, wood, and metal all create a disharmonious drumming along the way. The area is cramped and tight, with every square inch meticulously packed to carry as much as possible. You notice that it is so densely packed that there is no room nor need for strapping to keep it from shifting about, even on the uneven roads. You never hear the gruff-looking bully blade woman speak a word, as she seems to take the reins for most of the trip. As you notice that after that conversation, she made her way up front, took the reins from Fabian, and continues to silently drive. Meanwhile, Fabian, on the other hand, goes over the myriad of items available from Aurora's realm shops, seeing what the stout halfling Demay could cook with the ingredients.
But eventually, to break the silent, awkward tension, as you're probably just sitting there with friend.
Oh yeah, I have friend like sitting uncomfortably far away from me so that I have more leg room. Like because he doesn't get uncomfortable and he can bend his body in weird ways because he doesn't
Yeah.
really have
Literally
legs.
no flesh to take up room, just a pile of bones that goes. "Boop."
Yeah, he's like slid in between two boxes.
See, you see Fabian kind of like look over. That's very odd. But then he goes,
he's very good at what he does. He's very limber.
"You all seem like you are very good at what you do. You seem like a very well-seasoned adventuring group. Am I wrong?"
No, not really. We don't adventure outside of the city much, so this is the second time we've all left, but shouldn't be an
Only the second time. Where's the furthest you've traveled?
That forest, I don't quite remember the name of. I have a terrible memory when it comes to places and people. It's a swamp now. Can I roll something to try and remember the
Yeah, you can make an intelligence check at a disadvantage as you try to remember something.
The first one's a natural 20. The second one's a 14.
Okay, our deep forest.
That's what it was. Okay, so she says, it's a swamp now, our deep forest.
Oh, I heard that there was a town nearby there that was nearly completely destroyed by giants over a year ago, something like that.
I heard that rumor as well, and she's saying all of this in halfling. I believe that's what they were, right?
He is a human.
Oh.
The cook is a halfling.
Okay, so I was talking to her in halfling. Now I'm talking to him in common.
Okay.
Yeah, Demay is the female stout halfling. So,
okay, cool.
This is Fabian, the human merchant.
Well, it seems that you have not gone very far at all, and you're making your way to Daggerford?
Yes, it's actually a pit stop on our way to somewhere further away.
Ah, yes. I will not be stopping at Daggerford myself either.
Oh, where are you heading? You and your friend?
Oh, heading towards Cremor in Arm.
Can I roll a history check? How much
can
do I
make a
know
history
of
check.
Cremor? 10. I've never heard of that place.
Oh, well, it's an it's a like a caravan's.
That's it?
A caravan's hub.
Oh, like Bull Street. There's the name thing again.
Sort of. I mean, we just came from Caravan Court. It's kind of like that, but if you were to make a full small village out of it, it's just. And he looks towards the front and leans in a little bit closer. It's close to Athcatlan, or Athcatla.
Ah, I see.
But not under the same rules.
That's good to hear. By the way, and she leans in even closer. She mentioned she was held captive. Could you tell me more about that? Do you know her very well?
I know only how she earned her freedom.
Ah. Well, I feel like we got off on the wrong foot, her and I and my friend, Seisha. She says the name pretty loudly so that Fro can hear it. And she mentioned that she was rather perturbed by the shield that my friend carries. And I just wish you to know that my friend won that shield in combat, slaying the Xanathar.
Sure she did.
Very well, if you don't believe me. We were in the papers for it.
I believe the first half, but you embellished it a little.
It was right in front of our bar. You can go back and get the papers.
We'll see, but I don't stay in Waterdeep very long. You know, I have Aurora's Realms is everywhere. Actually, if you ever need any restock on adventuring gear, make sure to stop at one of Aurora's Realm shop. We have 5 locations within Waterdeep, as well as many others scattered throughout the entirety of Faerû. We got everything from shoe stretchers, to face beauty scrubs and elixirs, even drow swimwear.
What?
Yes, it may not seem important to adventurers such as yourself, but a comfortable, well-fitting shoe is necessary in the wilds, and your face can get extremely dried or oily. In places that you're not accustomed to, new environments. Yes. But drow swimwear, I'm surprised you don't know this. It's all the rage at midnight swim clubs.
Is this store like the Walmart of
100%,
Dragons?
100%, yes. 100%, yes. Actually, we literally have everything. We have stuff for rangers, rogues, bards, priests, wizards, laborers, scribes, general goods, hardwares, clothes and shoes, gardening, jewelry, furniture, foods, wines, toys, lamps, wagonry, and underwater spelunking. Here, take a catalog. It's a little outdated, but it's essentially the same list. Prices may vary between locations. All sales are final.
Literally hands you a catalog.
I take it. It sounds interesting.
This is actually the Sears catalog from like 1960. That's what you've just been handed. It's big, thick.
I glance at Demay, like, just real briefly, like, and I start flipping through the catalog and say, "Do you by chance have any of that, the face cream scrub, whatever you called it? Do you have any of those here right now?"
You're asking Demay?
No. I cut a glance at Demay, like, what is happening? And then came back to him.
Of course I do. Yes. It's somewhere. You know what? I don't. And you look at the densely packed everything. I'm sure it's here somewhere. We'll maybe go through it all when we find respite for the night.
Oh, of course. I would love to see what you had to offer. And she looks mildly disappointed that she wasn't able to get him to unpack these boxes. And then,
it would literally be a nightmare.
Yeah, and you look over and you see Demay's actually like bouncing and has like a small like sack opened up, and his grin is actually like peeling carrots.
I'm gonna help her. I'm done talking to Fabian. Cool, but I don't want to talk to a salesman 24/7.
And she just immediately hands you a bundle of celery, and has you start snapping celery into pieces, toss it in as well.
Could I? No, I'm not gonna ask him to help me. That's gross. Never mind.
No.
Yeah,
the undead is not cooking our dinner.
Yeah, I'm gonna not let.
There are lines.
Oh, I got the skin of the potato on there. Oh, it's a little slimier than normal, though.
A little crispy.
Why do I sense undead in the soup? Why is the soup undead? What's going on?
Why is the soup undead?
The third cart, as we move over to V and Harold.
The third cart is an open carriage with stacks and stacks of crates filled with basic weaponry and armor, but not much moves around due to its weight. And just like the other two, the bodyguard seems to be handling the reins, with the merchant resting his handless arm over her shoulders. And as Destrian and Geta ride up front together, you see the high elf sitting atop one of the boxes, restringing his longbow and quietly carving and sharpening arrowheads from hardened stone. What are you doing?
I would, of course, introduce us both.
Yeah.
I mean, like, hey guys, we're going to be riding together. Figure I might as well introduce myself and my colleague here. This is my best friend, V. Vedrock. My name's Harold Hovelton. Will be your protection for this ride, although I see you clearly have protection already. Good to meet you.
And he'll nod and kind of hold out his right hand to shake yours.
I will shake it.
Destrian Thump at your service.
Destrian, a pleasure. Absolute pleasure. And who is this beautiful young lady?
Oh, it is nice to hear. Nice to hear. But I'm taken.
Oh, you're both very lucky.
The name's Geta.
Geta, pleasure. Harold, V, obviously.
Hi, still V.
And this gentleman over here, and I will motion to him. May I ask your name, sir?
Solofin.
Solorphin, pleasure.
Rioval, at your service.
Mr. Rival, absolute pleasure. Thank you. We don't get out of Waterdeep much. V and I, we tend to stick around there. We know that place real well, but this is our first real long venture outside the city, so we're both pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
I see. So you've never been to the wilds and
we
overnight your whole life?
We've been to like swamps.
Yeah, we've been to a swamp. I got eaten by an
and,
alligator once.
like,
It's not a.
Like visited not visited.
I mean, but it's not like Waterdeep is like, a super safe place. Did you know apparently someone in Waterdeep gets stabbed every 52 seconds? That poor bastard getting stabbed all the time.
That one guy.
And Destrin goes up and goes, but have you ever been to Baldur's Gate?
I look over at V and I look back at him, but I'm like, can't say that I have.
I hear someone get stabbed there every 3 seconds.
And that guy's really having it rough.
Poor dude. He's
But
gotta be
rumor,
this
did you
old
know?
by now.
Rumor has it the city of El Toro went missing. We're looking to cash in on the Flaming Fist and mercenaries looking to buy up a bunch of arms and armor.
Wait, did you say a
make it-
city went missing?
That's what I hear. Why, a whole city?
Like, okay, so when we say this city is missing, do we mean like all of the people?
Nope.
Or like
There's literally a crater in the ground where the city once stood.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, it's not awesome, but I mean,
Wait.
it's kind of awesome, right?
was it
It is-
destroyed or did it like go somewhere else?
You know about as much as we do. But we hope to make enough money that we might try to find a permanent situation and start a family of Smiths.
Well, that would be fantastic, and the best of luck to you. Hopefully, we have no issues getting there, and everything's smooth and easy.
Yep.
It
Yep.
should be. It should be. As she, taps her sword and her armor.
With the lot of you and my Geta here, no worry that we won't have any. If we have any trouble, it'll be dealt with quickly.
May I ask you all a question, and you can be genuinely honest with me. It won't offend me if you'd rather not, but does everybody here like music?
I love music.
I won't complain, that's for sure.
As long as you're good.
Oh, I know a thing or two. I'll
He's okay.
make a performance check.
Okay, make a performance check.
This is the one time you suck.
Nah, 24.
Oh man.
Yep, and everyone can hear Harold's music start to radiate from the back carriage as he begins to play a jaunty tune as they go a traveling song, I assume.
Oh, absolutely. Very much road music.
Travel song when you gotta go somewhere.
Is there anything else that you all are doing for the rest of the day?
Keep an eye out as we ride.
I want to pull Seisha aside, and we don't have to play it out. Fill her in exactly why Fro hates her. In Celestial, very quietly. Like, I hang outside of the carriage, and I'm like,
I will really quickly at some point sit next to V once we're in between songs and stuff, and I'll nudge her in the arm and grin excitedly to her and be like, we're doing it.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Excited, I think.
This is it. This is the
Yeah.
real. I've already swallowed 2 bugs singing.
I believe that
That
your
was
mouth
what
is
that.
wider than usual.
Yeah, that whole that was 100% genuine terror and fear because I swallowed something that was buzzing before it. Rest in peace. Whatever's going on down there.
At least it didn't have a stinger.
I don't know that yet.
You
No,
would've
now
felt
I'm
it, wouldn't you?
panicking. I hope so. He begins to kind of panic, but he's finally calms down a little. He puts his hand on his shoulder. He's like, I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we're doing this.
It's just some extra protein.
Yeah, that's all that is.
And Cellerfin, hearing your conversation, kind of smiles and then hands you a bundle of sage.
What is this?
Are you supposed to eat
Burn
that?
it. It'll no, don't eat. Oh dear.
Yeah, you see him putting it towards his mouth, and he I wasn't gonna.
I mean, it
wasn't
smells pretty
gonna-
good.
And I start.
It's a
burning it.
natural repellent of bugs.
Oh, thank you. Much appreciated. I totally was gonna be my second guess. As I set it up. Oh yeah. As I set it up and continue to play.
But it's all right. You have me. I am the greatest
Oh,
traveler and forester this side of the Dalen. So you're quite lucky that you have me here.
I
Oh,
am
I
quite
didn't
lucky.
realize there was like a hierarchy for how good you're traveling.
But you know what? I got a perfect song for this one. I dedicate this one to Cellerfin, the greatest forester there ever was, and I will make up a song on the spot for him.
I love it. I love it. He nods along and make a performance check.
Sure, I will. See if it's 21.
Not bad.
Yeah, you know, not as good as my original one, but I'm getting there.
It's
It's a build
I
up.
liked it. I liked it. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, it's dramatic timing. There's more verses.
Stacia, you said you were keeping an eye out. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
I was actually going to say I'm doing the same thing, I think, on a regular basis because Orkira is used to traveling and
Yeah,
she's
of
used
course.
to being the person flying ahead looking. So I think on a regular basis, she'll give a half apologetic look to Voss and say, I'm going to go take a look around. Is there anything in specific I should keep an eye out for?
Any kind of bandits, anything like that, obviously. Anything out of place. We are open.
Any
And-
specific creatures that usually roam around here that get aggressive?
I don't know anything about
Large bears. From the other cart.
someone is concerned about large bears.
Okay,
You
large
just said
bears.
orange.
Yeah, no, Avi leans over to Hale and goes, did I just hear someone shout orange bears?
All right, keep an eye out for anything that's trying to hide in the sunset.
All right, orange bears. Got it. And I will.
Not
Fine. Also, throughout this, I would even say like beginning part, Bilver has drilled you 1,000 questions on wings and tail.
Of course.
You tell him that we don't have to go into it because you've explained it multiple times already.
I give him the slightly more involved answer in between stuff
Yep.
because we've got time. But yeah.
Yeah, and he listens. But that's definitely a topic of conversation as this trip goes on. But if
Oh,
the
yeah.
two of you want to make me perception checks.
Sure.
I did. What did I roll?
Can I send Savard to assist Orkira?
Sure.
Oh, so I get advantage?
You would get advantage.
That's good because I still have my -3. So, ooh, okay.
Yeah, she's got it. I don't see
God.
anything compared to
Okay,
her.
so with advantage, I rolled a natural 20. That gave me a 33, but I'm at a -3 for today, so that's a 30.
I got a
Just
17.
Just Seisha, as you're writing, you see open land. You see on the horizon a couple farmsteads and farm villages here and there as you continue on. There are a couple other carriages that pass by, travelers on horseback. You are on the tradesway. It is a very, very popular trade road.
Mhm.
It is wide enough to where multiple carriages can pass each other, multiple
Mhm.
caravans can pass each other. So there's no like getting out of the way, et cetera,
Yeah.
et cetera. You can definitely see like even like as the sun gets close to setting, you can see smoke on the horizon. It doesn't look like anything on fire. It literally looks like homestead, coming out of chimneys, et cetera, et
Okay.
cetera. All in all, fairly peaceful and quiet.
Orkira, with your 30, which is the impossible, I think, rank
Mhm.
in DCs, you see old scuff marks and parts where other ambushes have happened before, but there seems to be no sign of them happening recently.
Yeah, and I would say you actually, with that roll, you can kind of see a small opening with a small grove of wild apple trees scattered. So that you kind of can direct people towards as the sun is getting set. With your knowledge of travel, it looks like the perfect spot to make camp.
Oh,
Like wild.
It's something that you've noticed along the way, both of you, is that there are clearings along this very popular trades road on both sides
Mhm.
where caravans can pull off and make stay for the night.
yeah.
This definitely looks
I'll-
like one that's good for you.
Yeah. I'll go down the line letting people know about what I've seen. And I'd imagine the way that Savard has helped is just kind of perched on a shoulder. Because she's still a little, Orkira's still shaky. And something about having Savard there helps, and so I'll lastly come to Vinley and like hold out a shoulder and be like, "Thanks for the help. It was good to know I wasn't alone up there."
Of course, you're never alone when we're here.
Same back to you. Also, apple trees.
I turn to Demay and say, fresh apples.
She nods and starts. You can see calculating of what to make. There is, but you end up spending a good 12 hours on the road. As the day begins to draw to a close. The sky is alight with a beautiful wash of warm, vibrant colors cascading through the large, white, fluffy, scattered clouds. You see small sparks of light pulsating light as fireflies dance all around you. And before it gets too dark, thanks to Orkira's spotting, the caravan pulls over into a respite campsite built into the side of the busy merchant road.
It's a small opening with a small grove of wild apple trees scattered through the soft, low rolling hills of green. A long bench sits adjacent to the road, facing a stone circle fire pit left for ease of use. To the side of cleared, impacted earth made from tents throughout the years is a hitching post for horses. The elven scout immediately makes his way out to gather firewood and hunt for any small game for food. While the rest start setting up tents, you see Demay immediately begin to light a fire and get the stew going for the night. As she places potatoes, carrots, celery, rice, adds some seasoning, and then waits to see if there's any game from.
And if anybody would like to help Cellarfin, you can. And you would roll survival at advantage.
I would actually wave over Seisha to help Demay cooking.
Oh, I got an 18 for the hunting.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Seisha goes to hunt.
Okay. I'll help Demay.
Okay.
By
Easy
like
enough.
gathering fresh apples and stuff.
Okay. You make your way out, and you and Cellarfin actually nab 4 deer. I'm not rabbits. Sorry, my brain went.
That's a lot of deer.
Deer, rabbit,
No more
rabbit,
hunting.
We're eating good.
Yeah.
rabbits.
Yeah.
4 rabbits.
Okay.
Just to decimate the population of deer in this area.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's extinct. That's it. You just killed the last of the deer in this area, in this field lands.
Field dressed and added to the stew. And Bidley, what did you get? Roll with advantage.
Oh, sorry. What is cooking again?
It would be intelligence based.
Oh, good.
Natural 20, total of a 24.
Hey!
Boy, is that
Wow.
stew gonna be good.
Friend is just stirring the pot consistently at a good level.
Yep. You're stirring, and you actually watch as Demay begins taking apples and cutting them up and pulls out small little pots and makes this like campfire apple fritters with the fresh apples.
Nice.
I'm so hungry. I hate you all.
Smelling
And
all of that, I'm gonna come walking up to Harold and say, "Way better than my magic food, eh?"
I don't know about that. There's something nostalgic about the magic food. I find myself late at night and going to myself, I could use some of that summoned up stuff.
Well, you know what? At some point, I'm sure we're gonna be sick of it again. But for the moment, let's just enjoy this. Oh, it
Yes.
smells good. Yeah.
And as the night starts to take hold, before you all make your night's rest and decide on who's doing what, one of the caravan speaks up and goes, "So who's heard a good scary story?" And that's where we're going to take a break.
Oh, Harold.
I'm waiting for V. I want V to tell a scary story.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
We're back.
things that happen when the camera's away. So, things that happened.
They left the city.
It's a lie.
Better not be a lie. I've been waiting.
Tried
to
so
leave the
hard
city
to
this whole
avoid
time.
this.
It's all an illusion in an elder god's mind.
All that heavy role play, we still managed it.
Yep.
They are with the caravan.
They've met their traveling companions. Some a little
More
bit of
friendly?
tension.
More friendly than others.
Some more friendly than others. Yeah. But you've all made camp at a rest stop along the way that you've seen multiple of. It seems like this is a common thing on a mainly, well-traveled trades route. So where caravans are common, you have all foraged hearty meal, added some rabbit meat to a stew, and are sitting down to eat when Doran asked if anyone knew any spooky stories and offered to go first.
Before we get into that, I just want to clarify one thing. Friend has not taken off his mask, but is 100% holding a bowl of stew, and will occasionally and it drips down through very slowly, just to keep up the illusion that he's a person.
Or Kira has her back to them and is still like,
Seisha makes sure she stays well away from Fro.
Okay.
Got it. I thought that's what you said.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to hear you though.
Yeah. I just needed to speak up. That's all.
But Orkira is sitting there, very disgruntled, back towards Friend, the newly acquired undead.
He's just standing behind me,
Now, Seisha, I need to know this. The fire pit, as we all know, is a circle. If you are sitting the furthest away, are you making direct eye contact with Fro?
Seisha will actually sit away from the fire.
Okay. Yeah. Easy enough.
Yep.
But as Doran sits down, eating the stew, he goes, "Have you ever heard of the corn-fed man?"
I
No,
don't think so.
most people eat corn.
I elbow
Is-
Vinley and I'm like, shh, don't heckle.
Does he not like corn?
It's a poem.
Oh,
There once was a curious man who wandered and got lost. He traveled through a haunting mist and into the raven's loft. How strange, he thought unto himself. I've never seen this before. I must have gotten turned around when walking through the moors. He tried to find his way home again, so he started to retrace his steps. If I can find the fields, he said, I can make it through this hex. A shortcut through the cornfield should lead him back to home, but clouds above keep the moon concealed as he enters the corn alone. The corn grows tall and thick, my friends. The path he chose was muddy. It grows in rows without scope or end, and in the dark, he worried. He didn't see the standing forms as he passed them on his way. They stood still amongst the corn, which hides their pallor and decay. Hundreds gathered in the field that night, though he saw none at all. Yet still he looked around in fright, but the corn grows too thick, too tall. He told himself as he continued through, it's merely the rustling of the leaves. But they saw him, and they heard him, and they never let you leave. So if you find yourself traveling through the moors, beware the shadowed mist, for its scarecrows make you scream. You will forever be missed. Yeah!
Yeah.
Oh my.
V, I can't hear you.
Wait, so you'll become like the mist? Or
You
like
become a
people will
scarecrow.
miss
You become a scarecrow.
Oh, I missed. How did I miss that detail?
When Vinley jumped, friend also jumped and dropped his bow.
That makes me think of a poem. I just remember a couple lines from it. We must not look at goblin men. We must not buy their fruits. Who knows what soil they fed upon their hungry, thirsty roots? Same sort of meter.
It is the best to keep you entrenched into the words and create a false sense of comfort. Like a nursery rhyme.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know any poems, but I know a story. It's kind of spooky.
Destrian speaks up. Go on then, go on.
Okay. So, we're like all familiar with the City of the Dead, right? Just want to double check on that. Okay, cool. So basically, there was this dude, who decided to visit the City of the Dead, and he just got this really unsettling feeling like something was watching him. And then as he started to leave, he just heard a really strange noise in the darkness behind him. And he just decided he didn't want to know what it was and just decided to walk fast and hope it just goes away. But he realized that it was a bumping noise following behind him. Not footsteps, not even footsteps of anything large. It's like, imagine like wood just like hitting the ground repetitively, but getting closer, which is a strange noise. And he finally stopped to turn to see what it was, and coming down the road behind him was a coffin, a casket, standing on its end, bumping from side to side, like inching its way forward towards him, and it's closed. And so he just like could not believe, because like what the heck is going on? Like it's like, what is this, like a mimic? So he decided to just start running, as anyone should, and the coffin came faster, just bump. And so ahead of him, like there was a branch that had fallen from a tree, and he reached down and grabbed it, and he threw it at the coffin just to see like if hitting it does anything, and it just fell to the ground. Nothing happened, and it started coming on faster, just like bump. And so he turned the corner onto his street and ran through the front gate of his house, and the coffin was just like right behind him. And so the man dashed into his house, but the coffin, bashed through the door, right? Like bashed through the front door, hole in the wall, and the coffin at this point swung open, and there is this skeleton who's just like, nah. And he tried to run upstairs, and he grabbed some daggers, right? And the coffin with the skeleton was like, nah, bump, coming at him. And he threw the daggers at it, and nothing, and that didn't stop it. They fell to the ground. And he just didn't know what to do. And desperate, he was just so scared, jumped into the bathroom and locked the door, but he knew it was gonna bust through that door, just like the front door, just right through it. And so of course, the coffin, it just banged through the door and exploded. The skeleton's like, nah! And the first thing he could grab in his bathroom was a bottle of a cough syrup potion, and he threw it at the coffin, and the coffin stopped.
That was really good. I was expecting a scary story, but that was actually, I like that twist.
I don't get it.
I always make sure to keep a bottle of a cough syrup potion by my bed, just in case.
You watch Grolful literally just start dying laughing and then fall over backwards on the bench.
It just collapses.
And,
That actually
you know
worked.
that to be the one that was telling the jokes all day.
Yeah.
Does that actually work on undead?
That's what I heard. I heard
mean-
it works on alive coffins with skeletons. I don't know, Vinley, can you confirm?
Oh, you mean animated coffins?
I do know a lot of cough syrup is also based in alcohol, and so you can always set it on fire.
That's true. But I guess the man didn't have anything to light on fire at the time.
No, but it sounded like it sounded like he had a very punny time anyway.
I have a story. It's not traditional scary story, but I think it's a fun story. I think everybody here might like it if they want to hear it.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
There's this kid, it's his 10th birthday, and his father hands him this pocket watch. It's ordinary in every way, except that when he looks at the pocket watch, he notices that it ticks backwards as if it's counting down rather than it would be moving in the normal way. He asks his father, what is this watch? Why is it doing this? And he says, you see, son, that is all the time you have left in this world. Once it's up, so are you. You must use it wisely. And so his son, knowing how much time he had left, did exactly that. And as the watch ticks away, this boy becomes a man and he lives life to the fullest. He climbs the tallest mountains. He swims across oceans. He goes everywhere he needs to go and meets people. He talks, he laughs, he loves people. The man's never afraid because he knows exactly how much time he has left. He can always check his watch. And as he gets older, he notices it's on its final countdown. He stares over everything he's done and built. He shakes hands with his old business partner, the man who had been his friend and confidant. 5. His dog came and licked his hand, and earning a pat on the head for its companionship. 4. He hugged his son, knowing that he had been a good father. 3. He kissed his wife on the forehead for the last time. 2. The old man smiled and closed his eyes. 1. And then nothing happens. It stops moving. The man stands there, very much alive. And you would think in this moment, he would be happier than he'd ever been. But for the first time in his life, he felt the cold grip of fear over his heart.
Well done. Well,
That was good. That was good.
I've got one.
Oh, by all means. I've got one after you go, lass.
Oh. You
watched
guys have heard of the Sanguine Lady of the Trades Road, right? No
I'm
one?
unfamiliar? No.
Really?
And I am a well-versed traveler. I trade amongst everything. Everywhere, amongst the Aurora shop. Have I told you about my catalog?
Yes, you have, old man. Keep it down.
Well, the Sanguine Lady of the Trades Road is a woman who appears on moonless nights. She walks down the road seeking campfires where she approaches and asks for hospitality. And those who bid her welcome give her food, tell stories with her, bed down for the night, and never wake. Because it's said her gown is soaked in their blood. That as they go to sleep each night, she creeps forward and pulls out her long fingers. And black nails grow from each digit. And she reaches down and opens their mouth. And as she sucks the last breath from their lungs, she rakes her hands across their throats and bathes the hem of her gown in their blood as it spills forward. So if you're ever approached by a woman in a red dress on the Trades Road, don't invite her to your campfire.
Well done.
That was a good one.
Fantastic.
Just insanitary.
I gotta burn my red dress.
Vinley casts Disguise Self only to make her robes turn into a red dress, and she's like, never. We would never.
Oh! There she is right there!
Where?
You evil woman. Oh, I actually have a story that's very similar. Well, there's a woman amongst the trades roads, but I'll go after Destrian.
Right. Have you ever encountered an evil fae?
Yes.
What about those that eat the bones of mortals?
Yes.
Perhaps heard the enchanting tales about children and tooth fairies?
Wait, yeah, I was gonna say, does that one also eat, like, do they eat the teeth?
Well, the stories that go long ago at the dawn of the age of mankind, a time during the first sundering, the Feywild spilled into Toril. Back then, gruesome fairies with bone shards that pierce, stretched skin, and calcium growths that mimic teeth that covered their bodies, wreaked havoc on the world as they feasted on the bones and marrow of mortals. See, we all know the tooth fairies from our childhood, but these fae would steal your femur, your hip, your sternum, your spine. Just reach into your flesh like soft clay as it painfully wrestled out of your body, almost as if to feast on your screams before feasting on your bones. The worst part is you would live through it all, typically crippling you the first night so it could return the following night until every bone had been turned from your body, leaving you as a horrific, painful pile of flesh, choking on your own insides. It is said that we fought back and eventually captured one of these bone turners and bargained to make offerings to the Fae to keep a peace. Now, when children lose their teeth, we offer them on windowsills and under pillows, in hopes that you will keep them at bay. But the legends warn to never take back what you willingly gift, or to laugh in the face of the Fae. Otherwise, be wary what they take.
The man lifts his arm to show you his missing hand.
Harold will
Oh.
hesitate a moment and then apply. Because boy, that rings a little true for Harold.
Insight check. Do I feel like there's any truth to this? Or if he's just
Yeah, I'd
ahead and
like
make
to
an
make
insight
that
check.
as well.
Yeah,
I'd
make
like-
an insight check.
I'd like to make an Arcana check to see if that story has any truth in it on what I know about the Fae.
do we have
14.
advantage on this if we're trying to figure out lies?
Yes, because if you're within radius of me, you do.
But
Sweet.
you're not, because Seisha distinctly walked away.
Oh yeah, that's true. I went to
Fair
side
enough.
elsewhere.
Rolled a natural 1 then.
Okay.
I got a 14, I think it was.
You
Where am
rolled a
I?
10, so whatever.
Yeah,
your
14.
insight- 14?
And
Okay,
I got a 19 on
Or
Arcana.
no, I'm sorry. Insight. That's a 17. 17.
17. Okay.
It makes a difference.
It does make a difference.
It really, really does. Voss, for you, the ending of the story with the proof of his hand missing just brings so much more weight than to anybody else's. However, Seisha, although you know that there are rumors of very mischievous and even dark fae, you're pretty sure at least he's not. The untruth is that he didn't lose his hand that way.
Right.
There's that much. We'll give you that.
Okay.
He just likes to use it as a nice punctuation to the story.
Right. Right.
And Vinley, what did you get?
A 19 on Arcana to see if I know of a Fae that's like that. Because I like the more twisted Fae.
It's you definitely get that sense that, yeah, this is probably true. Like, you've definitely heard stories throughout history of early on Feywild that Fae can get real weird,
They can get
Real
nasty.
dark.
real dark.
Vinley will say, that tracks.
Well, that was extremely terrifying. I did not know that's how you lost your hand. My condolences. I'm sure that we will have some prosthetics available in Aurora's Realm Shop at some point in the near future. Make sure to stop by at any location you can find one. And it'll be like they never ate your finger bones. But anyways, on a different topic, more women you can find among the tradesway. Have you ever heard of the Banshee of Borscare's Bridge?
Have I ever heard of the Banshee of Borscare's Bridge?
Go ahead and make a history check.
Have I?
Sure.
Nope. Spending my life reading has done absolutely no good for me.
There's a lot of books in the world.
There are. And apparently none of them I read are relevant.
I got a 17.
17. You're unsure if it is true or not, but you have heard that there is a story of a tale of the Banshee
Okay.
of Borscare's Bridge.
Throughout this person's entire story, I'm gonna slowly use disguise self to slowly change myself into a banshee. Just
Okay.
very,
Really like tormenting Orkira, don't you?
I'm so sorry. I've already done it once.
Fortunately, what I'm just assuming at this point is my passive perception is so high that she notices. So it's less tormenting and more just.
Here she goes again.
Yeah. Because if she was, I think Vinley is smart enough to know that if Orkira was really actually startled by any undead, there would be, and then she wouldn't have a friend anymore.
Yeah.
So,
Well, deep in the western heartlands, between the high moors and the fields of the dead, is a passageway known as Borscare's Bridge. For those that live in or near the small hamlet, it has also taken on the name of Lover's Link. Many know the rumored dark history of the bridge that it has during the time of troubles, but its history only continues to carry that curse of wickedness. Over 80 years ago, when Toro was still in the throes of chaos from the spell plague and upheaval, there was a married couple who met on Lover's Link. But time or life had not been kind to them. After their fates aligned, he always was called to battles, and she always seemed caught in a fleeting illness that made her more frail and aged beyond her years, and caused her to bear no children. The story goes that during one splint of time while her husband is not off fighting battles or training younger men, she begins to believe he has caught the eye of a younger woman and caused him to become unfaithful. Rumors had spread that some had seen him having lunch with a woman half her age, which drove the poor woman to desperation and vengeance. Feeling powerless to do anything on her own, she ventured into the forest nearby to meet the old crone who lived in the woods and hoped that she could give her peace. The old spinster told the woman, "If infidelity is the truth, bring him to where the fates tied you. Take him to the edge of Lover's Link. Make him fall for you and watch him sink. Let his sins be washed away and find true love for you awaits. As long as he rests in the waters below, the lover will be cursed to be alone." The woman returns to town and entices her husband to rekindle their flame of dying love with a sunset dinner on Lover's Link. While there, he seems distant, with his mind aloof before the wife says she has something important to tell him. With a somber and nervous voice, he says he has some unexpected news as well. In a rage of his words, before hearing them finish, the wife casts him from the bridge and watches him crash upon the rocky rapids below. The blood from his head crashing on the rock washes away in the deep, cold river waters. And she went to town, pleased with herself, knowing that the fates would bring someone new that would treat her right and who she would love. But instead, she found the young woman waiting at her doorsteps. The mysterious stranger introduced herself as the unknown daughter of the wife's now deceased husband. A birth out of wedlock before the two had met, and she had only just found out he existed. In a long conversation of tears, she explained how happy she was to meet him and the woman he loved, who he talked about constantly over the past few lunch meetings. Realizing what she had done and what news he was going to say, the woman ran back to the bridge and joined her husband. They say when she reached Kellamvor, he cursed her to be alone and to only let her pass if she brought the bones of him as payment for the ferryman. However, much to her dismay, the bones had washed away, and now you can hear her weeping and moaning as she wanders the area around the bridge in search of his bones. But they also say, be warned for those that are caught at night, for when you hear her cries alone, she's coming to steal your bones.
Vinley looks at Orkira, puts her finger over her mouth, stands up, and screams. Full blanket.
I was scared too, but I can't roleplay right now. I've got...
You got Kitty. You got Kitty.
Yeah. The man telling the story even screams out and like jumps back.
Does a 13 hit your armor class, Vinley?
Nope.
Okay. An arrow goes whizzing back and funks into the tree, into the carriage next to you.
I drop the illusion and go, got ya. I don't like stories, but I can do that.
Why would you do that?
It was fun.
Oh,
Story, by the way. That was so sad.
And with that, I think it's time that we all stop. Once you start shooting at other people, I think it's time that we all go to bed.
Sorry. I knew it was you. That's why I missed.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I never miss.
yeah.
Who is saying that? Is that
It's the elf.
Okay.
I think it's time. I think if we're starting to attack each other, then enough stories, scary stories for tonight. Yeah.
You enjoy the stew. You enjoy the apple fritters. Both are amazing. And Doran comes up and goes, "All right. So now that the fun's over, I'll be taking first watch. Fro second, Greta third, Get a third. Who's joining if you want?"
I'll take the first watch as Sullivan speaks up. I only need 4 hours anyway.
I will as well. Same reason. And if my group would like to fall asleep in a nice, neat bundle, I have a way of putting a tent over us when I am done with watch.
I'll do third.
Second, then.
Do we need another on third? I'll join Seisha.
I'll take the other second. I'll go with Voss.
With Bill?
And V, if you want to, you can join first watch, or you can rest all night.
Yep.
I just realized I was muted. I will do first watch.
Okay.
All right. So first watch is Cellerfin, Vinley, Doran, and V. And
Yeah, for a moment, I was like, all the spots are taken.
Before everybody beds down, Orkira will kind of pull everybody in her group aside and say, before you go to sleep, before I go to sleep, anyone have any yes or no questions for the Phoenix?
Yeah.
Quick point. There are bear traps here, and I make sure everybody knows.
Go ahead and make me a stealth check.
Stealth, sleight of hand, one of the two.
Survival. Make me a survival check. Sorry.
Okay. Natural 20, 22.
Hey!
All right. Duly noted. You use what little brush there is in this area and kind of make sure that you find the taller grass patches, and you get a pretty decent hidden bear traps.
Yep.
Nice, but I informed the rest of the caravan where they are.
Okay. There's kind of like a semicircle of the caravan, as this whole area is kind of a circle in itself.
Yeah.
And you put a trap in between each caravan. So if anybody wants to try and sneak through or trying to sneak into the front or back of each caravan, they would get got.
No, I have also a couple of alarms at like 2 points around the camp. They're a 20-foot cube.
Mhm.
I just want to put it like, I'll ask Celorphin what direction most likely would an ambush come from. And I would put 2 alarms in both of those places.
Oh yes, I believe this vantage point here and this vantage point here. I mean, we're in the open plain, so it's unfortunately take your pick what you think is best. But you know.
Well, if they
Front,
come
rear.
from there or there, we will know about it.
All right.
Is it audible or in your mind only?
I will make it to where it is in my mind. Because I also have thaumaturgy and I can wake everyone up real fast.
Okay. So everybody that is on the watch, you want to make an active watch. Perception.
Oh wait.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Seisha, you said you had questions?
Yeah, I have one.
Yeah. Well, that's one. Does anyone else have? I got 3.
I'm good.
Okay.
I got one.
Yeah.
Or not that it's super important. Just I'm curious if we're heading towards the inn I saw in my dream.
Okay. You saw an inn in your dream?
Yeah,
had a dream?
I had a dream. There was an inn in it. It wasn't important.
It might help
It
if
wasn't a dream. It was when the ghost walked in me. Remember?
Oh.
That was the secret.
It might help if she knew the name of the inn.
I thought you said you didn't see anything.
No, I saw an inn. I said I didn't see anything else.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sure. All right. So, are we heading towards the inn that Harold saw? And then, Seisha, what was your question?
Is Seisha's mother alive?
Okay. And third question up for grabs.
Is my old teacher alive?
Okay. Do you have a
had
name?
a name, I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay.
My favorite teacher, does that help?
I
Your
don't know.
Far Realms teacher.
My favorite Far Realms teacher.
Okay. So we got an inn for Harold, a mom for Seisha, and a teacher for V. Let's do this! And I will pull out my book and ritually cast Commune. I would like to do it far enough away from everybody else, or actually no, she'll bring everybody over to the fire and be like, let's just do this right at the fire. I don't think
And you
anyone's
can
gonna
see
mind.
the 3 merchants have set up tents that they sleep in. The other hired hands have set up sleeping bags and bedrolls around the fire.
Okay.
And so as you sit down, everyone kind of curiously watches and just seems to be intrigued by what you're doing. But nobody interrupts or anything. They just quietly watch.
Remembering how Voss was startled when I didn't give him a warning, Orkira will warn the other people that I'm gonna do a little bit of praying. You might see the fire, do some flashing. Don't be worried. It's not dangerous or anything. Okay?
Overall, you mostly get intrigue.
Yep.
I'm happy to share the feelings with everybody. I will
Fascinating, as Bilber says in his quietest voice.
Okay. And yeah, at the end of 10 minutes of casting, she will cast Commune, and she's still feeling the effects from the raised dead, so she's probably sitting a little closer to the fire than she probably should be.
And you watch as the fire, which was burning at a decent pace, flickers and goes red.
Like full on red.
Full on red.
To distinguish it away from a natural fire.
Yep.
Hi. It's been a day. I haven't traveled in a while. I'll tell you all about it tomorrow. But I've got a couple questions, or friends do. First, are we going towards the inn that Harold saw in his dream?
You watch as the red flames, kind of just dancing a bit, grow brighter and brighter and brighter.
As it goes from a campfire more to like a bonfire that stretches out into the darkness of night.
Harold's face grows completely pale, and he completely confidently, as if nothing is wrong, with no hint otherwise, goes, "Oh, okay, cool."
Can I insight on Harold?
Go
I
ahead
will
and make a
roll-
deception check.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me go ahead and make a deception check.
I'm actually gonna insight on that. I think that since he goes obviously pale. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Can I have an advantage since I know him well?
Oh, I did a terrible roll. Y'all might actually have a chance here.
No, I also rolled terribly, and with my negative, nope, I got a 10.
Alright, well, let's
Only a
see.
23.
15.
18. So Voss knows something's up.
Oh, no. I was.
Oh, yeah. No, in that case, yeah. No, I
Voss-
still managed to lie my way out.
Yep.
Yep.
Wait a minute,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Y'all are sitting close to me, so if you're trying to detect a lie, you get advantage.
That is true.
Voss got the feeling this is something you want to keep to yourself, so I'm not investigating.
Same for Vinley.
Seisha's in her head.
That being said, Orkira and
Yeah.
V, you can roll with advantage. So roll a second one, not two more.
She's nervous enough. Okay.
Nope, that was the worst roll.
I got a 24.
11.
Ooh.
Right, well, yep, you know I'm lying.
Yeah, or
Okay.
Kira, you know that Harold is definitely you can sense the nervousness and the paleness in like very subtly in his voice.
Yeah.
V, yeah, I mean he just okay, yeah, sure. Neat.
Orkira doesn't say anything or do anything, but does make a mental note and is looking at Harold as that answer comes in, and then masks the surprise at reading something wrong by looking over at Seisha and saying, "Okay, your turn. Hi. Thanks for that one. Seisha wanted to know if her mom is still alive."
And the bonfire returns back to where it was before you asked the question. And as you ask it, it begins, you start to see yellow and red as it seems to not grow or diminish, but kind of flicker as the real flame is shining through.
Yes, Aisha, there's more going on here than just a yes or no. We're gonna have to start asking some more specific questions.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thanks, Okira.
Well, we'll think of some more and we'll try again tomorrow.
No, it's
Meanwhile,
fine. It's okay. Thank
yeah.
you.
I'll look over at V. What was your question again? I got distracted.
I have a feeling it's definitely not specific enough.
Oh, it's about your teacher, right?
Yeah.
You only had one Far Realms teacher, really.
Yeah.
I think it's. I
Seisha
think it's-
only has the one mom.
Well,
Yeah, but I think the situation.
But my
might be
mom
more-
was also a follower of the goddess of deception. and
That's a
secrets.
complicated
Right.
situation.
And my teacher is far realm creepy, so
well, we gotta start somewhere, right?
It's worth a
I-
shot.
okay.
I say let's ask it.
Okay,
Let's
so
go.
if your teacher,
All right. Is my
Favorite Far Realms teacher?
is my old Far Realms teacher alive?
okay, is V's favorite old Far Realms teacher still alive?
You watch as it had gone solid red again, and it begins to grow brighter, but then flickers and dwindles down, and then flickers and gets brighter and dims down, and again you get that shifting of bright and dim to before it evaporates and goes back to a normal campfire as the spell ends.
So kind of.
Solid, maybe.
A solid maybe.
You know, when my god is confused, you know that something really weird is going on.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to living or dead. Sorry I couldn't come up with more specific answers for two of you.
It's okay. Maybe if I eventually learn what her name is, it'll be more specific.
Or maybe we need to stop asking about living or dead and more about places?
Yeah, I
Because-
could ask if she's in Waterdeep next time.
Yeah, because sometimes you can be alive but be places that are kind of in between.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Okay.
I've got to go cast a couple sendings before bed.
Okay.
Seisha will get up and kind of wander away from the group and sit down, and she casts her first sending and says, "Hello, my radiance. We're sleeping in an apple grove. We told scary stories. I almost told the one about you fighting Acerak, but I didn't."
I am so happy to hear your voice. I'm glad it's well. Stay safe, my angel. As am I.
Okay.
And then her second one. "Hi, baby. It's Mommy. I miss you already. Be nice to Petunia. She's a really sweet person and a friend, especially to Harold. Nighty-night."
Oh, yeah. You get the only thing you get is.
He's gonna
Oh, I love
confuse
my
this
baby.
thing.
And then you hear a.
Yeah. It's like throwing a ball and holding it in your hand for a dog.
25 mamas as it questioningly looks around for you.
I'm the worst Mommy.
You just called an infant, and someone held up to the phone to it, and it was just like, "Hello."
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Where is this coming from?
It's like when someone holds the phone up for your dog and it hears your voice, and it's like, "Where are you?"
Why would you trick that creature so cruelly?
Why would you be
Because
so
I'm
cruel? How
evil.
dare
Haven't
you?
you figured that out yet? God.
I know, wait, bitch, evil.
How much more obvious can I be?
And your third sending?
I only cast 2.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I want
B?
to cast Sending 2 with my stone thing.
Yeah.
28 words, right?
25.
25.
25. Why did I get 28? That's like oddly specific.
25.
25.
Okay.
Actually, 74.
It's actually an entire essay. Hi. First day was good. We told spooky stories. I told the coffin one. Hope you're good. There are apples. They are tasty. Love you. I'm a prodigy.
And you holding the stone, you get that feeling, and as his voice enters, I'm so glad that you are well. We are traveling safely. Nothing of note yet. I loved that coffin story. Can't wait to hear from you tomorrow.
I'm gonna cry.
Oh.
There's so much cute happening right now.
As they go off to go do their sendings, and Orkira's like packing up her book and clipping it back to her belt, and she'll just sidle up like around the fire next to Harold and and just lean up.
Sorry, the scary stories have been getting to me. Everything's making me jump now.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
You know, you must be really distracted if you didn't see me coming.
No, I just probably just tired.
How was your first day of travel in a while?
Well, no rashes. So far so good. Didn't get eaten by an alligator. Already better than my last trip out. Fun stories, good people, genuinely having a great time.
Yeah.
Can't think of anything clouding my mind or bothering me.
Okay. Well, you know, I'm sure there will be other days that won't be this easy. But I'm glad that your first one in a while.
Yeah,
was,
you're the big expert on this. You kind of really headed up our last big adventure outside, you know, because that was really the last big time I left the city was the bag.
Yeah, well, that was you did really well. I mean, with the after the first couple days anyway. So
Yeah. The crying fits in the first few days probably weren't super helpful. The screaming, crying, yelling, throwing things, probably all not super helpful. But I grew out of that. I got out of that.
yeah, I mean, you lost a lot, so it was kind of fair. You know?
Yeah. But I'm glad you're here.
Well, I'm glad I'm here too, and I'm glad you're here as well. And if you do need to do like another screaming, crying fit, you always got a shoulder.
And she'll like very subtly just lean into him just a little bit, like, hey, here's a shoulder.
Yeah, and he will lean against her shoulder and grin and laugh and say, I really appreciate that. Hey, you think we could convince people maybe to just stop at that inn just to see what's there?
I think if it's important to you, then
It's not. It's just a weird dream, just a freaky dream. I just want to see what's inside it. Just want to see what's there, what's there.
Harold, if you want to stop there, I will break the entire caravan to make sure we do.
Well, please don't do that.
Okay, that's good. I didn't really want to, but I would.
I know you would. That's why. Please don't.
Yeah.
That's why I said it quickly. But genuinely, thank you. Just I just gotta know.
Can you describe it, and then I'll keep an eye out for it, because we know we're going in the direction, but I mean, in the direction of the inn could mean hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles that way. So
well, it's sort of like built into a wall, right? That's what y'all said. It's sort of like, am I wrong about that?
It's a 2-story inn. Everything else seemed blurry because the focus was the inn.
Yeah,
so
right.
that's why.
The one thing that makes it noticeable is that it had a sign, which I definitely couldn't read, and it had a long rope leading down from something that hung there. And if we saw that sign, I'd know for sure where it was.
Okay. A sign on, like a rope on the outside?
Yeah, like it's hanging down, like a rope.
Like what they got at the yawning portal with going into the well thing?
Sort of,
okay.
But like holding a sign instead.
Okay, well, if you have another one of those dreams, or if you remember anything, let me know. And when I'm doing my flying around, I'll keep an eye out, because, as I said, in the direction is vague, but, it gets us started. And maybe tomorrow... Yeah.
No, no big deal. It's not, like I said, it just doesn't have to be. It's not important.
If it's important to you, then it's important.
Not only did it hang from rope, there was a rope that framed the.
Okay, yeah, and I will describe that. Yeah, like the rope actually goes all the way around the sign, so really noticeable, but not important. But you could see it from really far. So if we did see it, if we were going that way and it worked out that we saw it, I would appreciate it if we could just, because for my own edification, I'd like to know what's inside there.
Okay, I can absolutely do that.
But not but we don't have to. I'll think about it because it's not important. I'm gonna go lay down.
Okay.
I'm gonna go lay down. I'm really glad you're here, genuinely.
And
I'm glad to be here.
As you say that, Orkira, you watch. What is your hat right now?
Oh, it is currently it's probably like almost like a it's just honestly it's like a purple, almost like a traveler's hat.
Okay.
I would imagine. Got it.
Purple traveler's hat.
Like, it's got an acorn like at the front of the band around it. There's just
you watch as the brim sinks closer as it becomes this band, and you watch Harold literally almost get pulled back as it stretches out into a nightcap.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm sorry. You have a good point. the cap, you can't. He's it's just very testy.
I mean, it's kind of fun with the big long nightcap with the poof at the end.
I know,
it's very stylish.
Yeah, it is, but it's heavy as hell. His head leans to the side.
You see the poof is actually an acorn.
Yeah,
but a
and,
large one.
like you can see it like actually tugging his head occasionally as it like as if it's getting heavier on the side he's not leaning towards. Like, all right, okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, this happens late at night. I tend to not take it on the night missions. Because of this, it's probably not a huge deal. I'm just gonna go lay down.
Let's go lay down. I have third watch anyway, and I will help Harold to bed.
Right.
I have ascending and something else to do. I know this is wild that we're all just having phone conversations.
Hey man, it is what you guys want to do.
Yeah.
So
I before like watches start, while everyone's still kind of setting everything up, I'm gonna take friend with me because I don't trust him by himself. He gets into crazy trouble. And I'm going to walk around the perimeter and look for any flowers that are pretty or unique. And I'm also going to send ascending to Dabble and say, I trust that the first day without me has gone well. I hope. How's Fala doing? And I just kind of slap friend because I'm frustrated because I don't know how to speak.
And it just
Yeah, and that's the sending.
and you get a shh, you get a shh, 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 shh. Vinley? Vinley, hello. I'm doing fine. Yes, that is fine again.
Why do you make emphasis on fine?
Well, I mean, not as fine as our excursion
Oh,
in the city of the dead. Follows fine. That's what you get.
huh. Oh, the picnic. I forgot about that. Oh, well. I'm glad to hear they're doing well. She's talking to friend as if he's going to respond. And yeah, she's gonna hunt for unique looking flowers.
All right, make a survival check.
I like to imagine the slap was heard, like just like her trying, and then it's like, right, and how's Fala? Bye. Like, what was that?
Like you look over and you see one of the caravan people just go, not my business.
I like to believe it's Dame.
Yeah.
Because for some reason I have chosen Dame as my favorite caravan person.
But
I also got an
halfling
18
cook.
on survival.
18.
Okay, you find some orange tiger lilies, some geraniums, and gaillardias.
Okay, I'll look up how to spell that in a minute. I pull out my spell book, flip to the back of it where there's like a solid chunk of pages that haven't been written in it, and she's gonna start pressing them into her spell book because there's no way she's gonna be able to keep these things alive.
All right, easy enough.
And she writes what flower is what if she recognizes them, because the orange tiger lily is probably common enough to know the name of, but that last one she definitely doesn't know what that flower is.
It's also known as a blanket flower.
Yeah, it's got like a deep, almost scarlet red center with orange petals, but the very tips of them are bright yellow.
Oh,
So,
really
but you can make a nature check if you want.
yeah. No, not a 5. 9. It
Yeah,
went
you've never
5,
seen it before.
13, 5.
Aw.
And what was the middle one? Geranium?
Geranium. Yep.
That's how
Sarah,
you spell
can I
that.
borrow you for a minute?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. What do you need? As I'm like finishing tucking Harold into a into a bedroll, I'm like, oh yeah.
Venley, you might want to come too.
Oh, yes.
You had a question you wanted me to ask.
Oh, you're gonna do your question thing. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good idea. I forgot about that.
And Seisha kind of turns so that she's kind of away from facing her back to the rest of the group and pulls the stone out.
Both for comfort and also to help hide, Orkira will come over and like be shoulder to shoulder and extend a wing and do like the wing hug, especially since they did it last night. And
Seisha just kind of leans into her.
she's not as warm as she should be right now, but it's not so bad.
I'll put my arm around you on the other side and like kind of just point off into the woods like we're talking about flowers.
Okay.
Stone of Golor. How did the Baal Norn of Nessaquah become a Baal Norn?
Go ahead.
And she will repeat what it's saying quietly so that Venli can hear it and Orkira can hear it.
You'll take 9 psychic damage. And you feel the knowledge seep into your mind. During one of the many crown wars fought between the Kingdom of Elves, Loth used the chaos she sowed as a way to harness the power to help create Daemon Fae that led to the first attack on Evermeet. In a great battle, Loth's armies were defeated and the Daemon Fae were locked away thanks to a champion elven woman named Namatheria Mirholandir Tirafian. From where the body of the Daemon Fae commander of House Deladgrith was defeated, a small island was formed by the Seldarine to imprison them. For her efforts, the Seldarine chose Namatheria to become a Belnorn, changing her name to Nessaquah. They charged her to eternally watch over the island, protecting it from the corruption created in the Sundering, guard over the prison of Daemon Fae to ensure they never escape, and to teach those of the island the ways of maintaining both. But even with long lives, histories become forgotten, intentions become twisted, and allegiances become broken.
Was that helpful?
In a drastically different way, that was helpful.
Good.
Wow. Cool. That was the scariest story I heard all night.
Oh, I won?
Yeah, very much so, Seisha.
Yay!
Also, look at these flowers. Look how beautiful these flowers are.
Oh, what kinds are they?
Tiger lily, geranium, and something called a blanket flower. I don't remember the official name of them. I just remember what I used to call them in my childhood. On the island.
Oh, it's a Garradilla. It represents modesty and charm and happiness. If you're giving it to someone, that's, the kind of thing you want to know.
I like that it represents modesty. That's a good virtue to have.
And tiger lilies are confidence and wealth and pride. And what was the other one?
Geranium. You know a lot about flowers.
It's the language of flowers.
Geraniums are the ones that can kill roaches.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that, but that's useful information. Thank you. Okay.
And the geranium is happiness and positive emotions.
Wow, I'm feeling absolutely none of that.
Well, not after the story, but maybe you were before.
Yes, I was. I'm going to go take watch and hope that something decides to try and attack us.
All of a sudden, something pulsing your mind just goes off, on and off and on and off, over and over and over again, Vinley, as your alarm is going off.
My alarm, someone's coming through the alarm. I am sprinting.
Okay. All right, make a perception check.
I will
I'm going with her too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we all making
Natural
perception?
20.
Go ahead.
There we go.
Natural 20.
27, yes.
Okay,
21.
you go over there, wands at the ready, looking where you felt the mental command, and you see a little rabbit hopping.
Oh, it's getting a chill touch.
It's a dire rabbit.
19 to hit.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's gone.
It's got teeth about.
And then all of a sudden,
Leave
again,
them out.
you feel it going again and
Get the
again, but this time
bones.
from the other side, where you set up on the south side.
The other one.
Follow her.
A friend is gonna go grab
Picture
that
like the
rabbit.
three of us running back and forth while everybody else is just kind of milling around the campground.
Everyone at this point is like looking, like getting arms ready, like what's happening?
Yeah, we're watching, wondering what the hell you're doing.
Dire rabbits, and I will fly over.
I run up there too.
Make a perception check.
What the fuck is a dire rabbit?
I don't know, but we took out the first. Well, Finley took out the first one really easy. We're going.
26.
Perception.
Yep.
And this time, you see a small garden snake just slinking its way through the grass.
Oh, hey, little buddy. I'm gonna reach up. Can I do animal handling?
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't you fucking.
14.
Okay.
I pull out some of the friend comes up with the rabbit and oh, this is disgusting. But I take a little knife, cut off some of the rabbit and like offer it to the snake.
And you put it down and it recoils just for a second and it sits there and watches it, flicks its tongue, kind of moves around, and it's about a minute later that it finally starts eating it.
Can we name him George?
I don't see why not. I cut another piece off and I just lay it down until eventually it's close enough to me where I can pick it up. I just want a little friend.
And for brevity's sake,
Yeah.
This happens
all night long.
all night long.
Jesus.
What the hell is going on?
I stop responding to the calls after a little bit, and eventually, like, I don't want to say halfway through the watch, I'm just like, okay, it's better if it's off. And I dispel both of them at the same time.
Okay.
Sorry, false alarms.
Seisha kind of goes over to Orkira and kind of lays her sleeping bag near Orkira's.
Mind if I?
I don't
hand
have a
out-
sleeping bag.
Um,
No, I don't need a sleeping bag. You've seen what I do. I just burrito. It's great.
Yeah. Do you mind if I sleep by you?
Yeah, sure. You're welcome to join. We gotta get up at the same time for our third watch anyway.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
It's been a weird day.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
It's
was
okay.
hoping it seemed like the first travel day for you seemed to go really nice, and it was just dire rabbits and garden snakes.
I was just in my head a lot all day and didn't get great news today, so
Oh, I'm sorry.
it's okay. It'll get better.
And Orkira will lie down next to you, and she'll burrito her wings, but one of her wings will kind of just lean over and lay on top of Seisha for comfort.
All right. First watch.
We made it to the first one! Yay!
What's up?
Yep. V, Venley, Doran, and Cellerfin. Who wants to make the perception check roll?
I will.
You can both roll if you want.
Okay.
Okay. What's
Can-
your perception modifier?
7.
And just so you know,
Oh,
it
mine's
is the
5.
dead. It is the dead of night.
Yeah.
Therefore, if you do not have dark vision, your perception only extends to the firelight.
Cool.
If you do have dark vision, you are rolling at disadvantage for your perception, but you have help, so you can roll regular.
Okay. That's what I was about to ask.
I rolled a 9. 'Cause I
Fitting.
rolled a 4.
Yep. Lots of
Animal
bug
carcass.
sounds and
Fireflies.
fireflies. Not really much. Yeah.
I got an 18.
These like drawing pictures in the ground.
Yeah.
And I'm also having Savard like just do circles around the camp to make sure nothing's approaching that shouldn't be approaching, unlike rabbits.
You definitely see quite a bit of just animal life, small rodents, prairie dogs.
The one thing that stands out to everyone throughout the entire night, no matter what shift you have, is that the darkness that consumes the area around you. One, because you're far away from the city now, and if you've ever been out in the middle of the woods where there is no light pollution, it is eerily dark. Also, it is a new moon tonight.
So there is nothing in the sky but stars.
And it is actually quite gorgeous. Although there's that small little voice in the back of your head that reminds you of the dark void of stars that becomes eyes as you look up.
The space between the stars you have to worry about.
I'm patrolling with
Cellophane?
yes. I can't remember these people's names, and I have them written down in front of me.
That's okay. You're only with them
Cellophane.
for like 2 or 3 days.
But other than that, watch goes by uneventful.
Can I ask Cellophane, just casually, so you travel a lot with the Emerald Enclave, I assume, yes?
I do.
Have you heard any scary stories out from Evermeet?
Ooh, Evermeet. Someplace I have yet to travel.
Oh, it's very beautiful. Where were you born?
I am from the Danelands, originally.
Oh, I've never been there.
It's far west, east. East. That was Dustin getting his bearings right. It is east of here, close to Cormanthir as far as the largest kingdom goes. I grew up in a place very close to Mithrain.
Huh. I'm afraid to say I haven't traveled much further than the Sword Coast. I recently got stuck in Waterdeep for a long period of time. I'm used to traveling myself.
I am not much of a city person. I owe much to Sylvanas and his ways, and
I sometimes feel like a bad elf. I worship Mistra above all, but I have respect for the elven pantheon.
what about you? Where do you come from? Are you from Evermeet?
Yeah, a small island off the coast. Doesn't really have a name. Escaped it when I was young, came to Waterdeep. Well, I traveled around for a while, then eventually came to Waterdeep to join up with the Blackstaff in Waterdeep. She's taught me a lot in my time being there. It's quite riveting.
Yeah, you asked me if I've heard of any ghost stories about Evermeet. I heard whispers of a witch that lives on one of the small islands. I forget where I heard it, but some elf I met from that area.
Oh,
Do
sounds
you know the
awfully
story?
terrifying. What kind of details did the story have? I'm a connoisseur of ghost stories. It's a guilty pleasure of mine.
I noticed.
It's a little trick. I do it for children mostly.
It's said that no matter where you are on that island, you can feel her watching.
That's creepy. Have you ever been to the Blackstaff Tower? It's a very similar feeling.
I know of it, but I have never stepped foot in it.
Yeah. You know, once you get used to it, it's quite reassuring, really. It means that someone's always looking out for you, no matter where you step. Oh, what was that? I'll go check that out. And she goes over behind a tree and is like, This is the first time this has happened. And she like kind of has a little freak out, like hidden behind this tree of just like far away from Celorphin. Just like, my chair is now sinking. How fitting.
As Vinley sinks on the tree, just slowly.
Yeah, 100%. She's having a little mental breakdown after everything she learned tonight, and then someone knew who she was. Well, not knew who she was. Yeah. Watch goes by uneventfully. Woohoo!
It does. And you wake up the next batch. Doran will wake up Fro, and you can wake up Voss and Harold.
And I'll cast the tiny hut and allow only us 6 and friend to pass through.
Okay. Do you make it look any different?
No, we're in the middle of a camp.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no use in camouflaging something right there in the middle of camp.
Fair.
Yeah, so it'll be like a midnight blue.
Okay.
Just like a nice color that she likes.
And
the temperature.
Where the night chill was starting to take over, even though it's summer, it's pretty comfortable, but it was starting to get a little bit cold. This dome appears over all of you, and the sound from outside becomes non-existent. You're not berated by the sound of crickets or toads or anything, and the chill of the wind that blows by every once in a while is gone, as the entire area within the dome is a perfect temperature. It's soothing. You feel more comfortable now than you've had in a long time. It's like being at home.
Slight hint of lavender in the air.
Or Kira's half asleep, but she'll stir just a little bit and you'll hear her say, "Oh, thanks, Alindra." And then she'll go back to sleep.
Oh.
My heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Vinley's gonna sit legs over legs and then prayer hands, and then we'll go into a meditative prayer to Durgal and Mishra together, keeping the dome up.
So V rolled such a bad perception, she accidentally fell asleep early.
Amazing.
I love it.
It's so on brand.
Good.
It's so good. Yep.
Harold will wake up and kind of smirk at the name Alindra, then I will go take watch with Voss.
Yep.
As I come out, I see him. I'm like, Mr. Ronto.
Mr. Hobbleton.
And you can see Fro as she is kind of standing on the bench of the wagon, the covered wagon that she's in charge of, and it's just eyes just staring out into the darkness.
Scanning the horizon.
It's real dark out here.
You're gonna.
My eyes are glowing super purple right now.
Never gonna be able to get used to that.
Me either, really. Let me tell you something. Like, I went to one of those haunted houses recently in Waterdeep. This was missing something.
I don't rightly know what that is, but
they're like people dress up and they jump out and scare you. Bah. You probably should not go. As a matter of fact, do not ever go.
All right. I will take this under direct advisement. So,
yeah.
We are headed towards a place you had a vision of.
Oh yeah, the inn or whatever, yeah. It's definitely not important.
To be polite, I'm only going to ask you once. And you can tell me whatever you will and I'll believe you.
Okay.
Is this place important to you and is there anything we should know about it? Even if you say it is, it's up to you to tell me.
The place probably isn't important to me. That's true. And I don't see any reason anybody should know about it unless they were planning on maybe hurting the people inside. which they shouldn't be. I hope not. I hope they haven't. I hope none of y'all have ever run into them. But I mean, if you did run into them, there's probably a pretty good chance you'd want to hurt them. So,
Do you know these people?
he's gonna look around to make sure nobody's near us. Nobody can hear us talking, right?
The only other person that is awake right now is Fro, and she seems to be separated from you to at least create a perimeter.
I'm gonna
And
be.
Friend is gently walking around the dome.
Yeah, I put a kick me sign on friend and let him go. And then I'm going to turn back to.
I will attempt to snatch that off her back if he actually gets that off.
No, friend,
not friend.
Oh, friend. Okay,
Yeah. I just throw a kick me sign on friend as they're going by, and then I turn to look back at you. I'm like, oh, Foss, I'm talking about my folks, man. The place is called, what was it? A chord above or something?
A chord above the rest.
A chord above the rest. A chord, spelled chord, like me, chord.
I do get the pun. So we are on a fated journey to meet your folks.
You know, Harold, it's weird. As you say, you know me, chord, doesn't feel right. Doesn't settle right.
Okay.
Just something about it.
Well, me, Harold, you get the picture. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about here. It's just this thing. And I saw a vision of this inn, and I didn't want to tell everybody what the sign was because everybody's going to be like, oh my God, are you okay? Is everything all right?
Yeah, that does get irritating at times.
It's not that it's irritating, it's that I'm not okay and I'm not all right. And how do you explain that to your friends that it's not going to be okay or all right even after it's done or while you're doing it or before it's happening? It's just the thing that's always wrong. You can't really explain that to people most times because nobody wants to see their friends unhappy.
Well, Harold, this isn't about us. It's about you.
The thing is,
it's about what you want to do.
Well, of course, I want to just look and see. You know, I don't want to. It's not like I give a shit about them or anything. You know, they did nothing but use me for con after con after con. I was just one more step in a big, long, elaborate plan to make money, have fun, and ignore the rules. That's all they really cared about. And if they have an inn, it's probably the shittiest inn on earth, or it's all a big front for some other thing they're doing. Or it's even worse, they're actually trying to go straight, which they tried twice while I was with them, and both times ended up becoming a scam on a whim. All I'm saying is that if we run into them, the one thing you should know is that nothing they say or do can be trusted ever.
What I will do then, when or if we run into them, is the same thing I have done with your pact with the Red Wing. This is yours to lead. I trust you enough to let you take the hit on this. They're your parents. It's your decision to make.
I don't trust me on this. What am I supposed to say to them? Hey, thanks for leaving me in Waterdeep. Where did y'all go? To another party?
I've always found in my life that it is better to take action than not. I don't believe in fate, so whatever vision you've been shown, I'm not going to say it's for a reason. At the end of the day, it just boils down to what you want to do. Whatever play you have, I have your back.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
I know this isn't really the trip you really wanted or envisioned, but I think it means a lot to the team that you're here. And really, it wouldn't be the same without you.
I appreciate that, but you are correct. There is a big piece of me that does not want to be here right now. But I am, so I'm not going to bitch or moan about it. I will say I worry. Because our enemies are growing stronger and more direct. And I worry about one in particular.
The
Our
Rose?
best friend.
Oh.
I worry about the Rose, certainly, but he is something that we can deal with a little more directly if everything goes right. The Harlequin is shrouded by the Xanathar itself. As I am understanding more about them, they are Baneites and Bull worshippers, murder gods, and I saw what happened whenever you formed a perfect image of him. Karnan was disgusted, but others were enthralled. He may be deep inside the Xanathar itself, and even if the Rose does not know he's there, he will have people who will worship and follow him, I feel. All I know is that if he attacked Orso, that means he's watching us, and has been for some time. I don't know why he did, or why he sent goons of thugs. But I have a feeling he's warming up for a show. And once again, this is the end of the day. You know him better than anyone.
When he caught me the first time, he caught me on the off foot. But he's always played second fiddle to me. If I catch him out in the open, or he makes one mistake, he'll be dead before he hits the ground.
I like your confidence and your direction. I hope that when the time comes, you make no hesitation.
When I think of that face, all I think of is that night. I don't remember the memories like I used to. I don't mourn for the past the way I wanted to. The fact of the matter is, there was a sense of relief knowing that I could get one more shot to look him in the eye and make him know what happens if you do that to me and my friends. It's not a part of me I'm super proud of. But there's some part of the old me that just can't die, and I feel like once he's gone, it'll go too.
I find that those parts of you that sometimes we despise in situations like this become the very thing that drives our resolve forward. Do not despise your emotions or your hatred for this man. Let it focus your mind. When you wish, you can move mountains. I wonder sometimes the things I could do with the skills that you have. I'm envious, in all honesty. Much as I try, I am not a politician, not even close. And when I see the way you change hearts and minds, I cannot help but be jealous. And I know if you focus that energy into a sharp blade, you can change anything.
That's the thing. It's a question of becoming lost in what's real and what's not, and a question of understanding when it's appropriate and when it isn't. It's a harsh responsibility. It's too easy to just turn everyone. I could walk into a room and convince everybody to give him a dragon if I wanted to.
You have.
I'm pretty sure I have. The fact of the matter is,
You convinced a dragon you were a dragon.
yeah, I did do that. Which is wild to think about now. So why is it that I could do that so confidently, and then I think about my parents and I freeze up?
Because they're closest to you. They're harder to attack. And because, despite everything, there is a part of you that still cares about them. With people that you've traveled with so long. With people that you know so well. They oftentimes can be the ones closest to us, can hurt us the worst.
That's what the Harlequin and them have in common.
However, I feel that if you just step forward into that role just a bit, have confidence in yourself that you'll not lose your way, at the end of the day, we'll all come out victorious because of it. Have faith in yourself. It'll take more than that to send you over an edge.
I never thought we'd get to this point, man.
What point is that?
I remember a time when you seemed amazed that we'd ever even be friends in the first place. Now I just can't imagine a life where we aren't hanging out in some capacity. I'm glad you're here. We all needed you here.
I hope I can help.
You always do.
So I have a feeling this is going to be yours, and particularly Viomiliana's story to tell.
We just gotta give V as much support as we can and hope to God that they don't undercook the eggs at my parents' place.
Yes, that is truly the greatest of foes we will no doubt face on this expedition.
They are like experts at delivering food poisoning. It's just uncanny how good they
On
are.
purpose, or
I can't tell anymore. They just I can't tell. Anyway, let's get back to watching.
hey,
Gonna clap him on the shoulder and grin, and then I will go to watch. Do I need to make a perception?
I will assist because I cannot see well in the dark.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make a perception check for this watch.
And you
You'll
can-
have advantage.
All right. Don't fail me. Oh, thank God. 25. It was like 19 or 1, which is it gonna be?
Me.
Look around and you see a little bit of like firelight on the horizon. But that's about it. The rest of the night is fairly
You do
Like maybe
see-
like another caravan going by or something.
possibly.
You do see Fro while making her rounds, you look over and she seems to kind of pause, not being able to see in, but knowing who's in it at the tiny hut.
Oh,
Thanks
yeah.
for that, Venley.
Yeah, I will motion and explain. I'll like kind of jog over and explain real quick what's going on there and then jog back.
To who?
Oh,
Oh.
Fro.
To Fro.
Yeah.
They kind of just, or she just kind of nods. It's hard to tell that's what she's talking about or feeling, and then continues walking.
Okay. I'll Harold, like this is the one who had a problem with Seisha, right?
Yeah.
Harold's gonna jog back and look to Voss, be like, she's really mean mugging Seisha. At first I thought it was a bit, but now I think she's being serious.
I recognize the tattoo on her lip, right?
Correct.
We've all sometimes felt the rod of our oppressors on our backs, and sometimes it's difficult to forgive. I think the most you could expect is tolerance from her, and despite knowing Seisha, I can't blame her.
At least she's being professional about it.
Let's hope she stays that way, and as long as she is, I won't have any problem with her.
Likewise. And yeah, that'll.
And your watch will come to an end. And you can wake up Seisha and Arkira.
And Fro wakes up Geta.
Thanks, Harold. Thanks, Voss.
Have a good nap.
Always, always.
Hey, Seisha, want a perch?
Sure.
And I'll grab her gently and fly her up to the top of the cart that is the one that can support us, the one that's
The
enclosed.
Bardo wagon.
Yeah. So that we can have a good vantage point. Also, because we're on third watch, I want us to be able to see the sunrise.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, gently put you down, and then Orkira will kind of sit down next to you.
How are you doing?
It's getting better. Yeah. How about you?
Getting better. It's really not. It's getting worse, but it'll be okay.
Is there anything I can do to help?
No,
Okay.
just be my friend.
I do that a lot. I feel like that's never enough, especially with all of you. So,
It's more than I could ask for.
at least we can enjoy the stars. This is nice.
Yeah. Is it different traveling with us versus your other friends?
Yeah. Yeah, it's slower, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
It's less frantic, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
There's a lot more questions about how to do it, which is a little weird. There's a lot less rushing off.
Yeah. We're pretty good about sticking together and taking our time. I worry about what's going to happen outside the city, though.
To be honest, this feels more normal to me. Like, I wasn't nervous inside of the city, but that's definitely not my city. I don't know if I have a city, to be honest, but this, like, just being out, this is what I'm used to. And it's not that I know any better, I'm just used to not knowing.
Yeah. You'd think I'd be used to that, but I'm not.
I mean, it's taken me a very long time to get used to it. I've basically been doing this my entire life, so don't be too hard on yourself.
I had a talk with Boss and about the stone and the way I've been using it.
Yeah.
And he thinks that the information that I've been seeking is pointless, that it doesn't have direction to it, and it's not actionable. And so I'm trying to kind of reconsider whether knowing that stuff is necessary or not. My whole life is knowledge. I mean, that's the fact that maybe that's not the right thing is really hard.
I think knowledge is always the right thing. I think we're all concerned about you. And so there's going to be that moment where, is this knowledge worth it? And when it comes to you, no, it's not. But
I can do this.
I know you
do
can.
This.
The question is, do you need to? And that was scary the other day when that happened. And so we're all worried. And I don't think Boss is wrong about wanting specific questions. I mean, it's the same thing with the Phoenix, right? I'm just not asking the right questions. And so we're learning things, but in little bits. And so if you're going to put that much more on the line to get the answers, then it's worth getting more stuff that we can, like he says, actionable intelligence. But I'm also, I'm the kind of person who likes to know a lot before I go in, and often I have to rush on in, and that sucks. So
yeah,
we got to find like a middle ground.
Yeah. I figure maybe being smarter about the questions I ask. He did agree that he won't use names like that name anymore. So, hopefully my eyes will stop bleeding.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, no more eyes bleeding. That sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts a lot.
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe you've been asking a lot of questions about like the general nature of stuff. Voss seems to be the kind of guy who just wants to know how to stop bad things. So maybe it's time we just ask.
Well, that was one of my questions, was going to be about weaknesses. And then the other things I wanted to ask about, there are these items that it talked about, that the cultist guy had talked about when we fought him. And they're necessary for a thing. And so I figured maybe asking the stone where their last known whereabouts would be useful. Part of me wants to do that because what if one of them's in the mountains that we're heading to?
Well, also, I mean, you just like, I get a couple questions a day, you get a question a day, so might as well use the travel time and get
if you ever have a question, just let me know. I mean, you've done so much for us. I feel like we don't do anything for you.
I mean, you've done a lot for me already without even really knowing it. Just being able to be here And in a weird way, it's almost relaxing. Like, I'm not used to being in the same place for very long.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't had new clothes in forever. And I haven't had a chance to enjoy places in forever.
Mm-hmm.
Those don't sound like really important things, but they really are.
No, I get it. I had never left my home. I'm on the opposite end. The first time I left my home was when Voss and I headed to our great adventure and met Fenley and then Harold and V, and prior to that, I've been in the same place all my life. I get how different it is.
Yeah.
It's all kind of overwhelming, traveling and being out and constantly moving compared to that other lifestyle where it felt slower, but comfortable.
I don't know if one's better than the other. It's just different.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have the experience.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want you to ask the stone a question, but before you met me, did you know anything about the Phoenix? No? Okay.
Actually, had I ever heard anything about the Phoenix?
You've heard about what a phoenix is. It's an
Yeah.
an elemental power from the plane of fire, but
Mhm.
you've never heard of a phoenix being a god.
Right. I mean, I'd heard of phoenixes,
Okay.
but never the Phoenix.
Well, there is only the one as far as I know. If you do ever hear anything, you'll let me know, especially now that you got sending. I don't know how long I'm going to be here to help. I'm going to be here as long as I need to be here. And then if I got to go and you happen to hear about anything, especially about anyone else like me,
Mm-hmm.
you let me know.
Of course.
Okay.
You'll be the first person I tell.
In 25 words or less.
In 25 words or less.
You're probably way better at that. I always run out of words.
I did a sending to Biblio and he got confused and was asking for me. And I feel so bad.
Poor baby.
I know. I feel terrible.
I
I'm
don't think you
the
have to-
worst mimic mommy.
No, you're awesome. We
And
wouldn't
with
call
that,
you mommy if you didn't love you.
and with that, if you want to make me a combine, either each of you make a perception check or make a perception check.
All right.
With advantage.
Here, we basically just talk all night and our passive keeps up.
I was about
Fair.
to say, I don't have dark vision. Okay,
I do.
You do. So I'm going to
Yeah.
give you advantage because even though I might have a higher perception, I have no dark
With
vision.
advantage, it's a dirty 20.
Okay. You look out, and even through talking and kind of going on, it's peaceful. It's the stars. You have never seen them in this fullness, Seisha.
Really?
She was all by herself in a.
That's true. I would say yeah. Sorry.
Okay. I was like,
wow.
wow.
But I mean, even then, light reflects off of the water. Where
Mhm.
this is literally just open
Sure.
grassland. So you definitely reminiscent of being alone on a new moon back at the monastery.
Yeah.
You look out and it's quiet. You hear animals, nature, wilderness, but nothing stirs or anything of the such.
You both see the warming glow of the sun breaking over the horizon to the east, where you see just a little bit to the north a forest, the very precipice of the horizon, where you know that's where Ardeep is, but you're a little bit further past it now. The light begins to stretch over the land and warmth begins to come back to the world. And you hear a clang against the Vardo wagon below you.
You look down and you see Geta sitting there holding up 2 mugs.
Oh, thank you,
Oh,
Greta.
thank
You
the
lost this-
universe.
You care for a morning ale?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Is it warm?
It's room temperature. It's not chilled.
What is it in a like a what kind of mug is it? Is it
Like
a
It's a wooden
tankard.
wooden tankard.
ah shoot? She takes the tankard and for a moment her hair is about to light the bottom of it.
Wait a
like
minute, wait a
warming
minute,
up
wait a
and
minute.
Ah,
Stacia
Lord.
reaches into her mess kit and pulls out a little metal cup
There you go.
and hands
Perfect.
it to Akira.
I will transfer and then I will produce flame and I will start to heat it up. She doesn't care if this is the kind of ale that's supposed to be warm or not. She needs warmth.
Yeah.
Got it.
And Getta's like, oh, to each their own.
I gotta warm up, but thank you. This is gonna be great. Yeah, we'll be down in a second.
And as everyone else starts to stir in the morning, the sun comes up as you successfully survive your first night outside of Waterdeep.
Since our deep.
Since Ardeep, of course, in some time, but first night of a long while.
Yes. Everybody can click the long rest button on D&D Beyond.
Hey, long rest.
Okay, so V like panically sits up and goes, "I'm watching," and like looks around.
You did
You see-
great.
Oh God.
You see that
Yeah.
half the camp is already packed up.
Oh my God.
I
It's probably because I didn't sleep much the night before. You know, I was just really excited.
It's
No one
fine.
blames
It's fine, honey. There were 3 people on each of the watches.
I did watch good amount.
Well, I mean, looking at the art, you were obviously awake for a long while.
Yeah, she has like drool like on her face.
Her hair's,
it's
like, sticking up at one
dry,
side.
and her hair is like, and she's just like, okay,
I just walk by and cast prestidigitation and perfectly fix everything.
I need to wash my face.
And as you say that, and everybody packs up and you head off for the second day, we're going to end tonight's session there.
Uh-oh.
Nope.
I do have to say, Vinley sneaks off, does her little friendship ritual,
Okay.
and summons her familiars, and then immediately dismisses the 2 new ones because they're spooky looking, and then rejoins like she was out like hunting for more flowers or like
Okay.
gathering some apples.
No problem.
Yep.
Everybody is distracted with breaking down the tents and repacking. And then, yes, as you make your way back onto the road for the next day, what looks to be a very long trip outside of Waterdeep, we will end tonight's session. If you have not entered #Beyond or #Eldritch, please do so now. We're going to pull names in about 30 seconds.
Yes. And while we wait, Goblin, is there anything you're doing this weekend that you want to mention?
As a matter of fact, there is. This Saturday night, I am going to be participating with a bevy of talented people in a production called What Streams May Come. It is a group of people who get together and read the works of William Shakespeare. And this weekend, we are doing Macbeth. And your girl is in the title role. I will be playing Macbeth. So you can catch it at, it starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/chaotictieflingatl. And there's a whole bunch of people who are involved in it who are watching tonight. Like Jessica is one of the presenters, as is Finn. It's produced by the wonderful Babs the Bat. And it's just a wonderful group of people. And it's going to be an absolute blast. I bought a crown. It's going to be awesome.
And as Dustin said earlier this week, I cannot wait to see your rendition of Mute Beth.
Yep.
Of Mute Beth. I muted myself so you guys didn't have to hear me eat on break.
So
That'll
good.
teach you.
Andy Jordan Lee will also be in it. She is going to be playing one of my favorite roles in the show. I won't spoil it.
We're not saying the Scottish play because we're not in a theater. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just can't recite the lines in the dressing room. That's what caused the curse.
Yeah. All right. So we have our winners. Winner of the players bundle from D&D Beyond is Gill Ears Yogurt Stash.
It's amazing.
Awesome.
That is an amazing name.
And then for the Eldritch Boundary miniature, congratulations, Master Burglar.
Hey!
These are great names.
Yeah.
A+ names.
So So I will reach out to you on the morrow to get that information to you via Twitch Whisper. So please make sure that I can send you messages.
Be excellent to each other.
And may you always roll with advantage.
Good night.